going on, everybody? Todd here, joined once again by Moriarty.
Hi. I was waiting for the "How are you?" and then I'd go whatever.
Well, I mean, I could have just done like shitty jokes, but I decided not to. And we have a special guest with us, the fucking legend of the Bloodlines community, Burgermeister. How are you?
Hey, I am doing well.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Quite well. Let me kill that music. It's a thing. So let's just get the business out of the way real quick. You can check out our sponsors. There's links in the show notes. If you're on the Twitch page, there's a panel with the links. Or if you're on the YouTube watching that, it's in the description. Of course, we have Sideshow Collectibles, Gary Poppins Small Batch Gourmet Popcorn.
There you go.
Yeah, it had to do the whole thing. Breezy, Valiant Vape, and Violet Vixen. There's Loot Crate. There's probably another one I'm fucking forgetting, but I just want to do these quick because it's a special time. It's a special episode. It's not every day that I get to have somebody on the show that, like, honestly, I consider one of, like, the coolest fucking people that's been able to kind of impact my life indirectly, sort of. And that's Burgermeister.
Wow. Yeah. This got serious. This got pretty.
It's got really serious.
This got really touchy feely. This went from like 1 to 60 like pretty quick.
Yep. Never turn it off. That's the way it goes.
But thank you.
Yeah,
Gosh.
no problem.
I was changing lives with Bloodlines.
Well, I mean, it's see, the thing is, like, when you play a game that's been out for 14 fucking years, it gets stale. And then you kind of drop the game and you go, well, I'm going to play something else and blah, blah, blah. But, thanks to you and a bunch of the other mod creators, I've been able to continually go back. And honestly, like, my last playthrough of Bloodlines with the Clan Quest mod gave me that first time feeling I haven't had in 14 fucking years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that hit of the good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really reinvigorated my whole, like, oh, hey, I can do Bloodlines content all the time now again, instead of being like, I'm kind of burnt out on this, but...
Or, games get old after a while. Your favorite titles, you can only play them so many times. Or you can become like a total psychopath and just like work on the game and like mod it for like 5 years straight. And totally to the exclusion of like playing new games or hanging out with your friends.
Hey. Yeah, guys, Mass Effect Andromeda is coming out, so mod's delayed. Sorry.
It wasn't, though. I still haven't played Andromeda.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, I've played maybe like 20 hours between like 4 playthroughs, and I've not left like the beginning of the game. So
people tell me it's kind of garbage, so it's not at the top of my list.
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing about a bunch of different games, but of course, like with anything, your mileage varies depending on what you're into. So because some people really, I know a lot of people that really love Mass Effect, for example, and to them it's a great game. A lot of the bugs got fixed, which were great, especially the sad facial animations, where I'm just like, I'd be playing Bloodlines and they have better facial animations.
Dude, it's still true. So like, I started playing Vampire, obviously. That was like at the top of my list. Like, new vampire game, basically. I got to play this shit. And reviews aside, like, one of the first things I noticed was like when characters talk, they're like, I'm going to tell you about my life. It's just like the mouth moves up and down, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's
not a whole lot of like facial expression.
Yeah, I mean, there's like we had games like Until Dawn that had like fucking amazing facial animation, like. And then we have Vampire, and it's like, oh, hey, cool new vampire game. Awesome. And it's like super wooden, and you're like, where's the, like, do you not emote anymore? Is that a thing from the time period? I don't know.
Yeah, in 1918, people stopped feeling things from April to October.
Yeah.
It was part of the plug, actually, a face paralyzation. What was I going to say? You know what it is, though? It's because the lip syncing is just so expensive to do.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is, like, I've worked on Bloodlines, and people have told me I've done a pretty decent job
You
with
have.
the facial animations.
You really have.
Thank you. But you know what? I showed some of the clips to the voice actors, like, during the development process, and I could like tell from their reaction. They're like, "Holy shit, this is like some 1977 kung fu movie style lip dub, like lip syncing, like that, by like a
Yeah.
movie standards. Like, obviously, it doesn't match up perfectly. Like, if your expectations are like perfection, it's not gonna succeed. But as far as video games go, like Bloodlines pretty much is almost as good as it gets, I think.
It's for the engine it's running on, which from my understanding is a bitch to mod.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. You work miracles. Like most of the people that mod it well. And I'm not going to throw shade at anybody specifically. But if you mod it well, it's amazing like what people can do.
Right.
So like
But you got to be all in. You got to be like, I'm going to devote all of my free time for the next 2 years to this. That's what I'm going to do.
But then you find out people are like super excited about it and going like, well, when's it happening?
Yeah.
And you're like, I didn't know you wanted this that quickly. It's going to take time.
Right, exactly. Especially since it's just like me for the most part.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like if it was just like, oh, hey, like we're just adding like a couple new quests or something like that, or maybe like a slight visual update, then yeah, I mean like a couple months maybe if you have a lot of free time. But like you added a whole new hub, you added a whole new quest line.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically two new quest lines in there if you want to really play it, the way it is.
Right. New endings.
New endings, new NPCs. My new favorite fucking character in the game, Victoria.
Which is I knew she'd go over well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just you bring in a Setite, and I mean, I can't say no to that,
Right.
And then
that's exactly what she's counting on. She's like, you're not gonna say no. I got exactly what you need, baby.
Yep. And I mean, I can make the joke of like I really enjoyed hand puppet Hazel as well.
So like I would always like I'm not really on Twitch, so I'd like see your videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like great, I can see Todd's playthrough, see his reaction to everything. And so I'm like kind of skipping around, I mean, because it's like
the stuff.
I know it in and out, but I'm like, let's see how he deals with Hazel, and like you roll up and he's just like, I'm like, first of all, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's not supposed to happen.
I have never seen. No one else has reported that issue. I've never seen that bug before.
I am so happy it's on video. Just.
I'm like, great. It's on a Twitch channel, and you're so cool about it. You're just like,
yeah.
What's just telling me about chasing down some camera spy, huh? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Like no reaction whatsoever.
So
it's not a bug, it's a feature.
So here's the thing, like for me, like after the fact I found out that it wasn't supposed to be like that. But I had thought like, oh, okay, well he's a Malkavian. Like, of course he's gonna do something fucking crazy for me. Like
right.
And then and people were just like, I've never seen that before. And I'm like, and I then I watch your thing and I'm like, oh shit. And I was amazed. I'm like, well, and then of course there's, the Twitch chat, we had New Wave in there. New Wave's just fucking rolling.
Yeah, of course.
She's awesome. Like honestly, it's just, if there's somebody that's like more enthusiastic about like Vampire, like shit, hands down. I mean, that in her Twitter feed is awesome.
I had to hide her Twitter feed, and it's not that I don't like her. It's just sometimes I check Twitter at work, and that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, I get you on that. It's why I don't like as many of the tweets that she puts anymore. It's like
a lot of TNA, a lot of good stuff there.
Hey, it's no problem. I have no problem with it, but at the same time, like I'm also not checking at work, so
right, exactly. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But no,
it's kind of.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it's just kind of funny, like how tight knit the Bloodlines
Oh, absolutely.
community is. There's just like probably less than 100 people, I would guess. They're like really super engaged, but
Yeah.
everyone kind of knows each other.
Yeah, I
At least a
mean,
little bit.
it's
It's like high school.
except for like, well, I mean, you're gonna have the shitheads in high school as well, but I mean, there's like a lot less of those in the Bloodlines community. Like
Yeah.
one of the things I like doing is I've gone to small channels on Twitch, and like especially when it's somebody's first playthrough, and like I welcome them to the Bloodlines community. I'm like, welcome to the Bloodlines. I've never been welcomed to a community before. I'm like, you're gonna be playing this a lot. Trust me.
That's what happened to me, man. I got hooked on that shit.
Yeah,
as you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I actually dug out this shirt here, and I actually wore this shirt when I picked up my first copy of Bloodlines at like a Kmart.
What can you stand up so I can see it?
Oh yeah,
the electric Hellfire Club.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, and
that's a band, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I know this band.
Nice.
I don't know it well, but I think I got like a couple songs on my playlist.
Yeah, I mean they have a couple good ones, and they have a lot of really satanic ones. So
yeah,
I mean I can play some of them around people, and then other ones are like, really, you want to play a song that just starts off with "Live, Breathe, Kill for Satan"? And I'm like, no. I mean, I enjoy the tune. So
this guy who sings the song Rats, what's his name? Ghost, yeah. He's fresh, and he is like, he's not actually fresh. He's just freshly like being played on the radio at this point. Yeah. But he's made a living out of singing songs about worshiping the devil.
I know, it's fucking weird.
Like, now it's on the radio. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, like my job, my legit job. I work in a Hot Topic, and every now and then that'll play, and I'm just like, I mean, okay, like I'm not gonna argue it. Like it's music, and I can listen to it.
Right.
But I remember like that. I remember places being like, we really can't play that because they have a naughty word in it. And it's like, yeah, we're playing songs about Satan now, so enjoy.
Hey, it's 2018, bitch. Get with the times. Do they still sell CDs at Hot Topic?
Not my location, because we are basically the equivalent of a fucking broom closet. So
right. No room for that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong. My manager is probably gonna catch this episode because it's a thing, and it's gonna be like, I laughed so hard and stuff like that, and you were totally right about the broom closet thing. And I'm like,
well, if it is, I mean, if you're just saying the truth,
we constantly are just like, we need a fucking bigger store.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, you don't need a bigger store. We're going to send you $28 as a shipment on a Monday. And I'm like, what about tomorrow? 30.
Shit. Yeah, I suppose you get like some free stuff, like a box falls off the truck, and now you've got like a closet full of angsty t-shirts. So
I wish, but 40% discount is pretty nice. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember buying CDs back in the day when that was still a thing at Hot Topic. So, because that was the only place you could get stuff like Electric Hellfire Club or whatever crazy industrial shit.
A lot of like MSI even, that was another one you could find mostly only at Hot Topics. But yeah, it was, and they would have every year they would release like a sampler of like it's just a Hot Topic exclusive CD, and it has like 4 or 5 bands you've never heard of. And you're like, oh shit! And then you find out like two of those bands have employees that work for Hot Topic in there. And you're like, well, that's pretty cool. Like they really have some of the coolest policies. Like if I had a band and I wanted to go on tour, I can go and just like let my district manager know, like, hey, my band wants to go on tour. Like we're thinking about these days, and we're like, yeah, take 2 weeks off to go on tour. And you're like, what? Like
you should. I thought you were gonna say there was gonna be like a Hot Topic tour of like shitty venues in like medium-sized cities of like all these like local bands from like around the country.
Oh, that'd be terrific.
Because that would be rad. Tell if your manager is listening to this, sir, I've got a business plan for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing though. It really is, and it's funny because like I have Vampire the Masquerade merch. You know, I have a Malkavian shirt. I have a New Wave
Really?
Requiem shirt. Yeah.
Really? They sell that there.
Oh no, they don't sell it there. No, 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 no,
They
no, no.
should sell it
They
there.
should, and they need to get in touch with the Onyx Path, who does all the merch license
Right.
on it. So, but yeah, I mean, like I'll go and wearing that, and somebody will be like, "Oh my god, I haven't thought about Vampire the Masquerade like in forever," and I'm like, "It's still a thing. Fifth edition just came out.
Right.
Do you play the computer games?" And they're like, "Computer games," and I'm like,
Oh.
oh, sweet child."
Do we?
Let
have
me
something for
initiate you into this.
I feel like a lot of people can't get past the graphics though at this point. Like I
People
don't care, obviously, but
people have a harder time with I mean there's texture packs you can fix shit with, you know? So
yeah, but like even like the physics engine is like garbage and like it's
well,
it's buggy as fuck no matter what you do.
oh yeah.
So is Fallout 3, but I still play that.
And so is 76.
It's true. It's true. But the Fallout games have that like Bethesda gloss on it. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
Bugs aren't
I'm not speaking
it's not bugs, it's features. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking figuratively. I'm talking literally. I feel like when I play like like newer age like RPGs, especially Bethesda games, it seems like everything's just covered in like glossy slime.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like it's wrapped in cellophane or something. You
No,
know what I'm talking about?
I completely get you. Completely get you on that.
So I don't know. I feel like I can get past the graphics. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
I can get past the bugs. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah,
I'm like one of these story nerds. It's like I'm here for the dialogue and the story. So if that can carry the game, like I'm on board. And Bloodlines does that.
It's to this day, I still think it's some of the best storytelling in a game.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Bloodlines is continually, after 14 years, on the best RPG like top 20. You know, so like
it's because it's really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell hey, you both beat the game, right? At this point?
I
have.
I
haven't.
I have.
Shit.
She's still working through it, so
Oh.
She's watched me play it tons of times though, so
Do I need to leave the room for like a minute or so, or take the
I wanted
off
to ask about perceptions of the end game the first time you played.
Well, I mean, the first time I played, I was just like, oh well, I mean, I'm Camarilla, so I got to do the Camarilla thing, you know, and blah blah blah.
Right.
And I wasn't ready for Ming Zhao at all.
Right.
I don't think anybody was.
Right.
Hell, I wasn't ready for fucking Bach. Let's be serious there. But I mean, the first time through, like, I thought, oh, okay, well, I'm a good vampire, quote unquote, so I'll side with the cam, I'll do the thing. And then at the end, I explode, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How did... And it was just one of those moments, and you see the note, you know, from Jack, and I'm like, oh, that son of a bitch. Then the second time through, I'm like, all right, how do I prevent this? And I'm like, wait a second, I can side with the Anarchs.
How do I prevent this? That's adorable.
Yeah, how do I prevent my own death? I mean, because ultimately that's what vampire is. It's like, you're dead, you don't want to die again. How do I continue in this life? So
right. I just remember the first time I played, I didn't know what to think. I saw that tower go up, and I picked the Anarchs the first time through. Yeah. And I was just like, I felt like simultaneously like really satisfied, but at the same time like kind of like jilted.
Yeah. No, and I get that.
But obviously it didn't turn me off. I kept going back for more.
Yeah, well, the second I found out that there was multiple endings, I was just like, ooh. And then messing around with builds and stuff like that, and realizing that you don't have to use auto spend. Every now and then I'll break out auto spend though on a Twitch stream. I'm just like, all right guys, we're doing a Malkavian auto spend run. How are we doing this? And they're like, oh, you did that like a year ago and you hated yourself after that for months. And I go, yes.
Yeah, how does that usually work out? I've never
fucking horribly. So all of them follow a template, and so you're spec decently, but you can't do half the shit that you could do if otherwise. So it's like, oh, here's like 2 points in finance. I don't use fucking finance. Oh, here's intimidation. I'm a seduction character. Like, yeah, enjoy.
It's almost as if this game was like half developed and then they stopped right at the end before they could play test.
Right?
Isn't that weird that it's like that? I don't know why it would be like that.
Yeah, no, especially like when with the Nosferatu. I mean, like it felt like they were not even play tested at all. I mean,
now I know you're being sarcastic, but why do you say that?
Because Tim Kaine said that they weren't play tested at all by Activision. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, we were able to go and do, like, when they sent it to QA, QA was just like, yeah, we don't want to deal with the Nosferatu, so they didn't do any QA on it before Activision's like, all right, you gotta ship it, and it's like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I can picture like some developer like coming up with the masquerade violation system for like the Nosferatu, his cubicle one night.
Yep.
And like he tested it out a little, make sure it works. And that was the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of it.
Yeah, no, it was fucking horrible. It was.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Right?
Actually, yeah. That's perfect.
Because even if you play it now, like, unless you're running like the unofficial patch or any of the other patches that are available for it, any of the mods, like, it's kind of taken care of to a point. But like if you are able to play like the 1.1, you're still like, I'm getting masquerade violations like crazy as a Nosferatu, and I'm obfuscated. Like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
Like, the guy's pissing on a wall. Why don't I just get a masquerade violation by creeping behind him? Nobody sees me. Like, what the fuck?
I'll tell you what, though, dude. Like, doing Clan Quest mod and then having to think about the Nosferatu is just like the biggest fucking pain in the ass.
I can imagine.
Because it's not even so much like the stuff that we're talking about. Yeah. It's like, trying to figure out how a quest is supposed to work that you're otherwise supposed to solve like socially. Well, now you have to introduce like a stealth solution.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, okay, so you played Clan Quest mod. You know about the thing where you go into the laundromat and you're supposed to talk to this girl and get some clue about this quest to proceed.
Yeah.
But if you're Nosferatu, like it was like one of these things where I was just like, well, if you kill her, there still needs to be a way to like figure out the quest.
Yeah.
Fuck it. With Nosferatu, it's just gonna be the same thing. Like, just pick up the phone, and mysteriously, if she died earlier, her phone just got left behind. The police never thought it would be interesting to pick up her cell phone as part of the evidence.
Nice.
Because fuck this, I don't have time to figure out
I've been spending 2 years on this already. Let's
exactly. And then the Malkavian dialogue too is just like the worst thing in the world. There's like just moments in the development process where I'd written like really good dialogue and I was like, oh, it's finally done. Now you can go back and do it all again, but for Malkavian.
Well, shit. All right, so how do I like allude to plot points and make it really confusing so people purposely choose the wrong answer because it sounds funny?
Right. Exactly. How can I use alliteration effectively here? Yeah. How can I make a literary reference here? Oh my god, puns. It's almost like once you get in the flow of it though, like the Malkavian dialogue is kind of fun because it's almost like writing poetry.
Nice.
Because you're trying to do all these like little weird puns and word plays, and it's not all bad.
Yeah, but it's still the initial getting into it. You're like, shit, why? That's why I don't play a Malkavian anymore. Like, I mean, just like even in tabletop, like that's like my hard rule is like, if you want me to play your game, I'm not playing a Malkavian. And they're like, well, why not? I'm like, I was stuck as a Malkavian for many years in my teens. So no.
No, fuck off with that shit. Yeah. The first time I played Bloodlines, I'd used the character picker and it tried to put me as a Malkavian. I got like 10 minutes in and I was like, I think this is a bad idea.
Yeah. The thing that kills me though is watching people's playthroughs, and it's like, oh, it's my first playthrough, and I'm a Malkavian. I'm like, oh, honey, you made a big mistake. Just, oh, why did you do that to yourself? My chat thought it was a great idea. Yeah, no, your chat hates you. You're not going to enjoy this. Start over. Play any of the other clans, except for
Now,
Nosferatu, because save that for later.
I'm gonna put an unpopular opinion out
Okay.
there. Malkavians are fucking overrated. Okay, there's so many Let's Players, Twitch players, people playing the game, and they think it's so hilarious that they're playing a Malkavian, and oh, look at my dialogue, it's so wacky. Look at me, I'm so crazy. And I'm just like, guys, like it's not that. It's not like we got the joke. You know, it's we heard it 5 minutes ago, and now you've just been saying the same joke for the rest of the game. I don't know, man. Like I appreciate a good Malkavian, but
Yeah.
there's just so much fish milk out there in the world,
Yes.
whether it be in the pen and paper game or in the realm of bloodlines.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm sorry, if you're a milk lover, you can crucify me, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and I will actually completely and totally agree with what you just said. As somebody who watches a lot of people play Bloodlines, we're now seeing like a more of a swing, at least on the Twitch side, where people are choosing Tremere.
Ooh.
So we're seeing a lot of Tremere playthroughs, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But every now and then you'll still see like, oh, hey, there's 7 people streaming this game, and 6 of them are doing Malkavian. I'm like,
yeah,
which
exactly.
one am I watching?
It's because people think it's going to be more interesting because it's Malkavian. It's like, no, everyone's doing it. It's not that cool.
No, if you want an interesting playthrough, do something that people aren't doing. Like, especially if you're putting it up on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Do a Nosferatu playthrough, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Those are, like, fucking unicorns to find. Because every now and then somebody will be like, I'll do a Nosferatu. Or if you're messing around with some of the other mods, like, let's just say you're doing Final Nights, do a Somdi. Like,
right.
I've never seen anybody do a Somdi run. And I'm like, that's on the list.
So does that mean you've got Nosferatu on your list?
Oh, Nosferatu's always on my list.
Have you like, I don't know all your Let's Plays. Have you done a Nosferatu Let's Play already?
Yes. Yeah. I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're practicing what you preach.
Yeah. Yeah. I've the clan usually what I'll do is I'll have my chat choose the clan I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I've already done a clan, like, so let's just the last playthrough I did was actually I still have that playthrough going. I got a Toreador going right now. So my next playthrough I'll be like, okay, choose these clans except Toreador because I don't want to do that shit again. You know? Except for Toreador and Malk. So don't choose either one of those. I did a Tremere for Clan Quest, which was fun. I enjoyed that. The next one I think I'm going to do is, I'm tempted to do the Nazi now in Clan Quest just to see just leave the phone. Just, there we go.
Yeah, there's a couple cool interactions. That kid that you meet in the taco restaurant, you're supposed to like shake him down. Mm-hmm. Like his dialogue is awesome with Nosferatu.
Nice.
So give it a fair shot. There's some good moments.
No, absolutely. I mean, two of the most interesting dynamically playthroughs are going to be your Nosferatu, and then every other clan except for Malkavian, because I mean they have a novelty that wears off in 10-15 minutes of gameplay, basically.
Right.
But yeah, you could sit there and laugh and joke and be like, ha ha ha, I just had an argument with a street sign. Like, I've seen this shit like 1,000 fucking times. This is the funniest thing ever. No, it's not. Like,
it's good for one playthrough, but like, right, exactly. When every Twitch streamer, when every Let's Player is posting Malkavian videos, it just gets kind of like worn thin. Yeah. That's my opinion anyways.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree with you. Like, I don't see a lot of Ventru playthroughs. I don't see... And I don't like playing Ventru. I just... There's a thing with, like, I just never... And I guess it's like my bias because I've never liked the clan Vantru to begin with. So,
Oh man, Venture's my boy, dude.
oh,
Oh my god, I want Dominate so badly in real life.
Dominate would be nice.
Oh my god, I think that would be the best one of any of them that you could have IRL.
Fair.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like super strength would be cool. Obfuscate would be cool.
Yeah.
But if I could just walk up to people and basically make them do what I said, that would be great.
You've never seen me before, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Why'd you wave your hand?" And you're like, "You've never seen me before," and they go, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Where did you come from?" And you're like, "Exactly. Be on your way."
Except when you fail your roll. And you're
That's
like,
the first
"Never
time.
seen this before." Like, no, man, you're just waving your
Yeah,
hand.
you
What do
just
you
wave
think
your
this
hand.
is?
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, shit,
This is
I need to
fucking
put
Star
another
Wars.
point in goddamn Dominate.
These are the droids I'm looking for, actually.
That's always fun though. Like, I one thing I enjoy is the versatility of the system and being able to build the character I want to build, whether it was in the tabletop or in the in Bloodlines for that matter.
Right.
So if I feel like being like a more brawly character, then cool. Like I can do that and say fuck social interactions. I can beat the game that way.
Right.
I can try to seduce my way through, which means I'm sleeping with Romero and every dumpster hoe I come across gets sacrificed. It's a thing. But yeah, that's one of those little quirks I found. And this is like my pro tip, if you're ever picking up a prostitute in Bloodlines and you're looking for a spot, take her to the nearest dumpster. Usually there's like
That's
one
true
dumpster
in real life too, though. It's not just Bloodlines.
there. I wouldn't know.
Life tips.
Yeah, life tips. Gimmick Bag.
Bro, we totally got a couple of hookers. Where should we take them? Dumpster
over there. Yeah. All right.
Got a place to throw them when we're done with them.
God.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things though. Like, but yeah, no. I implore anybody that's looking to do a Bloodlines playthrough, even if you're doing it for yourself, don't do Malkavian. Like, ever. Just maybe after you've expended all the other 6 clans, maybe do Malkavian.
I think when I played the game, I started with Bruja, and then I did a Nosferatu run through, and then a Malk run through. I think I would say they're like third on the list. Like you want like a standard run, you want your Nosferatu because that's very unique, and then like why? I mean, it is unique in the sense that you're going to stop the stop sign and have a conversation, and so I mean, it has its quirks. It's just after that, like you don't have to go back to it.
Plus, at that point, when you're doing that Malkavian run, you've done the other playthroughs, and you can understand what kind of code's being laid down. You're just like, okay.
Exactly. Dude, I said, the first time I played, the auto picker picked me a Malkavian. And like I was rattling some shit off that I had no idea what the fuck I was going on.
And then Jack
about.
calls you out. He goes, "Oh shit, you're a Malkavian too. You're doubly fucked."
Yeah, and then Mercurio's like, "Oh, you're a fucking Malkavian." I'm like, "Oh shit, I think this is a bad idea. I think I should just start over."
Let's try this again.
Yeah, after the previous 2 attempts to get the game to run, and then it just like crashed horribly, and I had to install new graphics drivers because that's fucking Bloodlines.
Yeah. Yeah, but now I can run it on in my system without a graphics card because it's 14 fucking years old.
Right.
Now, so
Exactly.
It's one of those CPU heavy games too. But then again, that's the early source engine for you. So.
Right. It's totally inefficient, especially if you're running Clan Quest mod. Unfortunately.
It's still worth it. It really is.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping. Like it was release day, and that's when I found out that the crashing bug was like way worse than I realized.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. Hopefully people will still think it's worth it, even though it's like you got to have multiple save games and
Yeah, save scum. Like F9's on your keyboard for a reason. I mean, that's just the
right,
way it is.
right. But it worked out. And then like a couple days later, I had the hot
Yeah.
fix that fixed that mostly. So it wasn't all bad news. So
Yeah, no, I mean that was actually really cool. Like it was super quick, like the patch on that. I was like, because there's been times where I've played mods and it's like, oh yeah, we're working on a patch, and then like 3 months later, they're like, oh, here's a patch, and you're like, I already gave up on this mod. Like I've tried playing it.
When you got an issue like that, like I'm a software developer by trade, so like I understand when you got like a serious issue, like you got to fix that shit like straight away, like no fooling around.
Yeah.
So I fixed the critical issues as quickly as I could. I've still got like a list like 5 pages long of like bugs I have to go back and fix.
Yeah.
And that's just bound to happen. Like I'm not going to beat myself up about that. That's software development. Like honestly,
exactly.
I know there's going to be bugs. It's just, are there going to be like seriously horribly bad ones? Like hopefully not.
And I mean,
game breakers.
Yeah, the game breakers are top priority. I mean, that's always going to be the case. But I mean, something like, oh, well, Hazel's animation didn't trigger right, so he's in this weird position. Like, that's fine. Like that's...
Hazel turns into a hand puppet, though. That's a little more serious. I was a little more concerned about that, to be honest with you.
The thing was I was kind of hoping that was going to be like every interaction with him. And I was like, oh my god, this would be great. Like a Malk that only talks through his hand. That'd be terrific.
No, he's a little more well-adjusted than that.
Yeah, I mean, like Bear and all, so.
Yeah. So you're running a tabletop game, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, it's Nashville, I think it said,
yes,
right?
Nashville by night.
So you'll appreciate this, is that so a lot of the inspiration for Clan Quest Mod, this newest chapter, came from a tabletop game.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of the new characters are like people's player characters that got converted into Bloodlines
Very cool.
personalities. But 2 of my player characters had no experience with Vampire before, and they both chose to play Malkavians.
Oh, God.
So I was running a game. It was 4 or 5 players, and 2 of which were Malkavians, and it was ridiculous.
It was trying.
It was trying, yes, exactly.
For my Nashville game, when I laid out the rules, I'm just like, okay, so first off, this is the first time I'm running a V5 game. This is also the first time I'm actually storyteller for a vampire game. So there's that. So here's the rules. No doubling up on clans. Once a clan's taken, it's taken. I don't want 2 fucking Toreadors. I don't want any Malkavians.
Right.
And then somebody pitched a really cool idea for a Malkavian. I'm like, all right, so maybe 1 Malkavian.
We'll work with that.
And then they end up going Setite Ministry anyway. So I was like, all right, cool. Like,
Mori, are you in this game?
Yes.
What are you playing?
I'm
what
playing
are
a
you
Toreador.
Oh, I thought you said no Toreador.
No, Malkavian.
No Malkavian. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want like 2 people being like, oh, well, we're both going to be Toreadors. And I'm like, really? I want some diversity. So I think right now we got the which got dubbed thanks to one of the other players. We have the Moriador.
Moriador. Nice. Good wordplay.
Yeah. So we have the Toreador, we have a Gangrel, we have a Ventru, we have a Setite Ministry, and then
a Lasombra.
And as of right now, we have a Lasombra, V5 Lasombra, which should be interesting, but they're kind of like, I might choose another clan instead. I'm like, please do the Lasombra, because it looks so fucking cool.
Is the Lasombra is like new to V5, like they just published it in the Chicago book. Yes. They're going to, right?
Yeah, it's they released a preview on it, and it will be in Chicago by night. And I've read through that thing, and it looks so fucking good. Holy shit!
I got to get on that bandwagon. I got to get on the V5 bandwagon.
Yeah, V5.
I've got the player's guide, but I haven't really read it yet, which is terrible. But
I mean, it's. So, like, my introduction to the tabletop was Dark Age Vampire. So
nice.
I mean, it took me a while to be like, all right, well, I mean, you guys are moving to third edition of Masquerade. I guess I'll move to third edition of Masquerade, but I really like the Dark Age vampire rules. And like, you also like the fact that we have a Cappadocian in our group, and they don't exist in Vampire the Masquerade. I'm like, fair.
Fair.
My one
Nice.
regret.
Well, they still exist, but they're called Clan Giovanni now.
Oh, those goddamn usurpers. Oh.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean, I could say the same thing about the Tremere, though. Those fucking usurpers.
Yeah. Beer number 2.
Nice. Stay thirsty, my friends.
That's right. Yeah, I like the Giovanni. I think they're a great concept. The whole idea of there being like this totally sinister, necromantic, evil, demonic aspect to the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
I mean,
so cool. That's the shit I love about Vampire in the World of Darkness, is this idea that everything around you has like this other like aspect to it where it's being controlled by these creatures of the night. That is so rad.
Yeah.
So imagining that in organized crime is just like, oh, it just tickles a special place in my body.
Nice. I mean, like the Giovanni initially, I was just like, they're really cool. And then I read up about the Cappadocian, and I'm like, oh, fuck the Giovanni. I mean,
I gotta say, I am not as familiar with the Cappadocians. I think from what I know, they are the ones that got diablerized by the Giovanni, and they don't exist anymore, except for there's like a conclave of them like locked in a cave somewhere.
There were some, and then there's the Harbingers of Skulls.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, the Harbingers, that's. I mean, I really hope that we see them in V5. I just think that would be fun.
I feel like, okay, so like, bear with me here.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Vampire World of Darkness universe is so complicated. There's so much material.
Yeah.
There's so much to deal with. And if you are a GM or even a player, like taking it all on board is so hard. I feel like what they're trying to do with V5, from what I know about it, which is just listening to a couple podcasts and like breezing through the book, is that they're trying to clean that up.
Yes.
They're trying to make it a lot simpler. They're going to get rid of the blood. I think they're going to get rid of all those bloodlines if it's the Harbinger of Skulls or the Daughters of Cacophony. All that shit is going to dust because it's so much. It's too much almost.
The way that the clan systems are built, like it seems like there's so much. They've like really slimmed down the disciplines, so it's no longer like, oh well, Malkavians have their own special discipline of demontation. Demontation is actually an amalgam between, I think it's, what is it, Auspex and Obfuscate now? Oh, no, Dominate and Obfuscate.
Right.
So at level 2 on Dominate, you can, instead of taking that, you can take Demontation. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So like they've slimmed things down massively, and with most clans there's some amalgam, so they have like a unique power. So with them doing things like that, I can see them not only bringing in the older ones, but also bringing in other clans and bloodlines a lot easier than in previous editions.
Right. But it's not the disciplines. It's like the story justification for me. It's because like it's all this lore and background. And so like people are pissed because all the elders are gone now, right? Like that's the story. Like all the elders
most
like
of the
disappeared.
elders have gone to the Beckoning.
Right.
Which is kind of like this ambiguous, like, oh, they've been called away thing. Some elders are fighting it, fighting the Beckoning and stuff like that. But the Sabbat are over in the Middle East doing the Gehenna War, so.
Right. So I feel like, they're just like, they're trying to clean up the story and like lower the power threshold so that it's easier for people to just do whatever they want.
And it's nice. It really is.
Yeah.
Because I've tried in the past getting games together, and it's always been like, this is really fucking complicated too. And I'm like, oh, just remember the formula of what 537 or something like that, and they're just like, what the fuck does that even mean? I'm like, oh, you'll understand it when you get to that point in the book. Now go to page 283 for this. And now go back to page 74 for this part, and here for that. And just,
Yeah.
little
You know what
formulas
though?
written at the bottom.
To be fair, you can just throw all that stuff in the trash if you want to, and you can just run whatever game you want.
Absolutely.
That's what I ended up doing with my friends. Like, it was a story set in like not a source book. It was just like a small town that I grew up in, and just we actually used the Requiem rules, but the setting from Old World of Darkness.
Nice. Very cool.
And we just did whatever the fuck, it's just like I didn't have to incorporate all of this like lore and be so beholden to the story. Like the Black Hand of the Sabbat show up in one adventure, and like I didn't have to go into like all this pretense about like who they are and what they're about. It's just like they're badasses and they're here to kill you, so you're gonna have to do something about it.
Well, see, and that's like one of the beauties of like just the World of Darkness to begin with is, there's a lot of stuff, especially when you're dealing with like the, what we used to refer to as the old World of Darkness, which is now just the World of Darkness. There was so much fucking meta plot where it's just like, well, there's this going on, and there's this going on, and you have this shit going on over here. You got to worry about the antediluvians, and you got to worry about this and that, and blah, blah. And with V5, they've basically said all that, like, the threats that you have now is the Second Inquisition.
Right. Which is kind of cool. It's like humans got wise to you, bitch. So they got flamethrowers.
They'll make you dance. Still one of my favorite features from unofficial patch. Library, if you use a flamethrower or any flame weapon on the Lasombra down there, he'll go into his burn animation, and it looks like he's fucking dancing.
He's just like,
he's just, exactly. And you're like, the first time it happened, it's been patched where he'll still do that, and if you hit him again, like it'll break that loop.
Right.
But I'll sit there and I'll hit him with the flamethrower, and I'll just stand there for 5 minutes and watch him dance. I'll put on music and shit.
I'm surprised, honestly. This took till people got to the library. I swear I've seen this bug other places.
Well, by the time you get to the library, you have flame weapons. So
right, okay, so that makes sense. It's just like your first natural opportunity to like.
It's like, oh hey, I have a flamethrower, or in some cases, I have the dragon's breath, and
right
with the dragon's breath, and you're like, okay, why did no health go down? Why is he just dancing? What the fuck's going on? This
is how you put out fire, by the way.
Yeah.
By shimmying, essentially rubbing yourself.
And I swear, Focus Entertainment Cyanide Studios need to have a dancing vampire in their werewolf game. I don't give a fuck. It needs to happen.
Oh, because of the alternate ending in the unofficial patch with the dancing werewolf.
Yep. It's a thing that needs to happen.
Which I regrettably excised from Clan Quest mod. I gotta say, man, I don't agree with you on this one. I just like that because they added, like, Wesp added that later. He just thought it'd be funny. I was just like, God, this is just silly. This is just silliness. This is a serious game about vampires, okay? And the darkness that lives inside of me, and your dancing werewolf subtracts from.
But it's a black spiral dancer. I don't understand what the big problem is. The black spiral dancers live in Griffith Park. That werewolf that's dancing looks identical to the one that you crushed with the observatory doors.
Which means it must be the same.
I've never had somebody to play off of with another voice like that. That was terrific. But yeah, no, I mean, I enjoy doing that little Easter egg ending, and I've joked around that that's the true ending of the game because, like, honestly, there's no win situation in there except for
a dancing werewolf.
Well, I mean, you know, you can if you want to play it like Lone Wolf, like. You leave, you flip off the anarchs, and they're just like, hey, where are you going? And you're like, I'm gone. Fuck you. Or you side with the anarchs, and they're like, wow, you did a real good job there. And you're like, yeah, I did. no thanks to you. Like,
Right.
like you guys could have sent somebody in there. But I mean, like, even like when you look at, you know, your mod, Clan Quest mod, you know, you have a pack. Like, they're with you.
Right. Like, okay, so that was the thing. I was like, okay, this is the Sabat mod, and the thing about the Sabat is like you have a pack. You have people that get your fucking back. And I was like, I have to do this. I have to do it so that it's like Dragon Age or Mass Effect or something like that, where you take companions with you on a mission.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way it would make sense for the Sabat. But it works like 60% of the time. You know, like you'll get the companions like stuck on the elevator, or they'll just like pop out in front of an enemy and break your stealth, and that's just, I mean, that's just Bloodline.
Yeah, that's Bloodlines being Bloodlines.
Right.
I mean, like the elevator thing, I thought that was great because I'm like, yeah, doors are closed. I'm inside the elevator. You guys do your job. Like, I have a mission. You guys are helping me.
Right.
So take care of these guys and help. Like,
right. Oh God.
And Arturo's just standing there, just like in his little pose.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm just standing here, man. Like,
he's like, I'm just doing my thing, Holmes.
Yeah.
But
and Victoria's like, I'm doing work here. Like, just like she does have your back. Like, I have not had a problem with her, except for that weird bug that I mentioned where I was able to possess her. Something that you.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this. I think I went and like watched the video and I found this bug and I was like, this is insane. Because like, okay, so comp mod, like basically for the companion system for the Sabats, I'm just using the code that comes with the comp mod.
Yeah.
Because how it works is if you don't install comp mod when you launch in the installer, you know, you got the different options for the different mods. All it does is set a flag that says comp mod is off. All that code, all that good stuff is there. It just needs this variable to be set from 0 to 1. So like I can still leverage that, and that's what I did with the Sabat thing. So like the possession system is supposed to be turned off completely because I took that out of comp mod, and apparently not.
It's there.
It broke your game. Like yeah, the code is still there. I'm just gonna change this flag, and this will be off, and everything will be fine, right?
Yeah.
No.
And then it gave me an option to possess, and I'm like, okay, well, let me possess her. And I'm like, why is she a Malkavian now? Like, what the fuck just happened? And it's like, okay. And then I beat it, and then I'm the Malkavian, and I'm like, my stats are completely different now. What happened?
You are the fucking Malkavian. We are all the Malkavian.
Yeah,
really.
it's. I felt that the game itself was just like, oh, you don't like fucking Malkavians? We'll fix your shit.
We're gonna make you Malkavian.
Yeah, but then I reloaded from an earlier save and fixed it. But I was just like, all right, well, let's not do that again. Like,
right? Yeah, possession, bad idea.
Yeah, yep, very bad idea. Arturo, do your thing. Good. Thanks for blocking that doorway that I need to get through. You're welcome.
What's worse is like, so he'll stand there like this. If you can imagine me being like fatter, he's like he's like this. But like the other alternative is he's like this.
He's like hunched over.
Yeah, because it's Cal. It's Cal from the bar, the asylum, right? Yeah. That's what the model's based on, and he's the bartender. So he's sitting there at the bar with his hands on the bar. That's his default like mode to be in. And so the reason why his model is all fucked up is because it's expecting him to be standing
behind a bar,
behind a bar,
Which I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, the next time I go through, I'm going with Hazel's side of things. So
yeah,
I'll see what I can find there. I really hope he gives. Yeah, I really hope he just talks to me with hand puppets the entire time.
That would be amazing, honestly. That's the gold standard for fucking Let's Play videos.
That was like honestly one of the funniest goddamn things I've seen in any mod I've played.
Really, even like Dragon Age,
Yeah.
or not Dragon Age, but not Morrowind.
Fallout.
Fallout's got some fun bugs.
No, it has some fun mods, and I'll actively look out for those. Like if I'm playing Fallout 4, I'll get the Pew Pew mod, where all my laser sounds are just somebody going pew pew. It's
Oh my
fucking.
Oh my god, that's
You're one of
genius.
those people.
Why
Yes.
didn't I think of that? That's so good.
It's terrific. It really is.
You know what I should do for April's Fools? I should release a patch for the game
Oh my
and
god, yes.
replace the weapon sounds mod with one that just turns everything into like pew pew pew
Bang
pew.
bang. Bang,
Or it'll be
bang.
me making the sound effects.
It'll be
Oh,
perfect.
that'd be terrific. Yeah,
that would be wonderful.
And I'll do an install video on how to install that without having to completely get rid of your old Clan Quest mod.
Right.
There you go.
Because I've been able to leverage that shit so well, that fucking mod loader. Holy fuck.
It's good, right?
It is. It's terrific.
It's good. I got to tell you something, Todd.
Yes.
So, what was it? It was like right before Halloween, I released the mod. And, like basically the night I was releasing it, I went to the movies. Actually, Near Dark was playing, which was perfect. So I went and watched Near Dark, came home, and I had the mod release set up on a timer for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
After I got home, like it just happened to be 3 minutes left. And so the mod was released almost immediately after I got home. And so I'm like scrambling to like update like the news article and like, finally post some pages to the FAQ and blah, blah, blah. And then I go outside and I smoke a cigarette, and it took me like 40 minutes. And in that time, I come back inside after I smoke a cigarette, and I like look to see like what is going on with the mod. And within that time, you had posted this video about how to install the mod. And you know what? I was like, I think this is going to be well received. That was like the sign to me. That was like the reassurance that like I put this thing into the world and people were probably going to be happy about it.
Yeah. And I mean, like I've heard from a lot of people over the years, like, oh, well, I want to get into installing mods, but it just seems so difficult. And I'm like, they have installers now. Like, it's not like back when I started putting mods on Bloodlines or some of the other games where I had to go and get a zip file and make sure that all the files matched up and drag and drop, make sure I'm not getting rid of certain ones and shit. No, it's got an installer. There's a mod loader. Here's how you do it.
Yeah, it's come a long way. And we should take this moment to give a shout out to the not late, but the great Wesp 5.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he has done so much for the community, and I don't agree with everything that he does, and he pisses me off sometimes, but I love him. But you know what? Like, he is the guy that really pushed the installers forward because he figured out, maybe he's not the one that figured it out, but he's certainly the one that's promoted it. In terms of like, here's a program that you can use to create installers. Here's a script that you can use as a basis for your mod to install a Bloodlines mod. And so like Final Nights, myself, the unofficial patch, probably multiple others, they all use the same basic script that he has sort of worked out and distributes. So like, cheers to him.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Cheers to Wesp. And just
no one left. I would cheer too.
Can't cheers an empty glass. It's really
no,
bad.
No, it's not the same. Yeah,
I ran out of whiskey, so Mountain Dew Ice.
There you go.
But yeah, no, seriously, like, like Wesp is, and people can say what they want about Wesp, but if it wasn't for, like, as you said, the installer and all of that, like, a lot of these mods wouldn't be a thing. Let's
take another, as long as we're giving shout outs, let's take another moment to acknowledge, do you remember Dew? DHEU, I think. I assume it's Dew. The guy that made the companion mod.
Yes.
And the guy that wrote the unofficial modding guide to Bloodlines, because that's what got me started and that's what got me hooked. And if it weren't for that, there'd be no Clan Quest mod or anything like that. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, of course, like all the collaborators that you had on the mod, which, I mean, it was an impressive list. It was a very impressive list, and I was like, holy shit,
Yeah, it was so cool. Like, I was watching your video. It was so cool for you to like read off the names of all the people that had contributed.
Well, and the thing is, it's like, if if you think about it, like most people aren't going. Like I also read fucking EULAs on Twitch. Like,
Oh my god, are you serious?
yeah, I'm dead serious. Like,
Oh,
legitimately.
good lord, man, you gotta.
I do it so
Oh,
people don't have to.
He has a pitcher of water with him,
Yeah.
so he doesn't get dehydrated.
Yep. I got my skull pitcher over there. Fill it with water, and I sit there. I'm like, all right, cool, new game. Let's read this EULA, and they're like, I
you
actually
son of
have
a
people
bitch.
that go, please, are you
Oh.
doing a new one? And I'm like, yes, and they're like, yes, and I'm like, you guys enjoy this shit? Like,
Mm-hmm.
All right, Todd, I got your business plan for you. Your new business plan. Are you ready for this?
all right, let's do this.
Sponsored ASMR channel.
Mm-hmm.
ToddEvf reading EULAs.
There you go.
So you're gonna talk quietly into the microphone. The terms and conditions of this license does not hold Bethesda Studios liable for any losses that may occur from the installation of this software.
Oh my god.
That's you.
Yeah,
That's you.
legit. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's people have been trying to get me to just do EULAs all day, and I'm just like, it's tiring work. It really is. Like, I was at one point going to do the EULA for Steam.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
that's
It's got to be like 40 pages long.
Yeah, I
man.
saw how long it was. I'm like, I will be here for hours.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's not good. Don't do that.
It all spurred from two things. One, somebody calling me out on a YouTube video about like, oh, you're stumbling over your words, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, listen. They're like, oh, you don't know how to talk, and I'm like, oh, all right, motherfucker, let me read legal documents now. Enjoy. And secondly was Gearbox Software with their really intrusive NDA for Battleborn. They decided that, you know, when it was in closed beta, like you couldn't even, if somebody said, oh, hey, did you hear about Battleborn? You could only say without violating the NDA that, oh, I hear it's a game.
Wow.
Like,
it worked though, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
yeah,
but...
it came out right around the same time as Overwatch, so not many people know what Battleborn is.
Oh. Let me tell you about Overwatch for a second.
All right.
So my friends, my IRL friends have been
Yes.
playing that game since probably it came out, and I've been dragging them along for so long because I was working on the mod. I said,
Yeah,
guys, I don't have time to play this game. I'm working on this mod. I got to get this thing done.
Yeah.
And once I finished Bloodlines, I was like, I should see what this Overwatch thing is all about. Dude, I hope there's going to be a patch for Bloodlines because I'm like badly addicted to this game at this point.
Yep. It's
holy shit.
Who's your go-to?
Oh, Winston. I'm a
Winston?
Winston man. Yeah. Which I guess he's a little more like common than I thought. Like I thought he was kind of a rare pick because I don't see a lot of people playing Winston, but
it depends. I don't do like any of the ranked stuff myself, so like I don't know what it looks like in there. But usually in the matches I see a lot of Junkrat, I see a lot of McCree, you know, just the classics. It's just like, all right. I don't see a lot of Winston.
Yeah, everyone wants to play DPS is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but, nobody wants to play defense, nobody wants to play support.
No, sorry.
Yep.
Winston's fucking great though. He's a monkey. He jumps in, he fucks people's shit up, and then he jumps out.
Yeah.
And that's
throws down a little barrier like real quick.
Yep.
It's just like boom, there we go. You guys are good. I'm out.
Yep. Oh god, that game, dude. It's like a fucking brain worm.
Yep.
Once it's in there, it's not coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I have it installed myself, and every now and then I'm just like, should I? And I'm like, no. I have things I need to do today.
Yeah. I basically just totally neglected my email last weekend because I was just playing Overwatch. So
it happens.
I was like, you know what though? I deserve it. I spent the last 3 years working on Clan Quest mod. I think I can afford some time on Overwatch. I think it's cool.
Some you time to
exactly.
To sell your soul to Blizzard.
That's right, exactly. I didn't even pay for it. Somebody gifted it to me.
Nice.
So. There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking Overwatch, December 11th, they start their winter event. So
what's that? Has everyone got hats on or something?
So they're going to be releasing for a limited time holiday skins for characters. So
Okay.
and some maps will have a Christmas theme. The new Christmas theme map is Blizzard World, which is now
Okay.
going to be at night. It's going to have the light posts are going to be done up like candy canes. It's going to be snow and shit.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds
And-
like a.
And I think they're bringing back the snowball fight as well mode, which was kind of interesting. Everybody plays as May, and you basically shoot one snowball out of your gun. If it hits somebody, they're eliminated. Then you find a snow pile, suck up snow so you can fire another shot. It's actually really addictive and really fun.
That's awesome. Didn't they do something like that in World of Warcraft?
Yes, they did. They
Yeah?
did. I remember that.
That's not just my imagination.
No, it's not just a figment of your imagination. I think they either no, I don't think they redid a battleground. They might have made a custom battleground where it was a snowball fight, maze type of weirdness. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Interesting. It's like from one end to the next. It's like basically I was playing World of Warcraft circa 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is eating all my time. I should stop this and like do something else, or at least play like other games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first title I picked up was Bloodlines.
Well,
I fell down a hole.
and then you fell down a bigger hole.
Yeah, now I'm out the other end and it's fucking
You're like, oh, hi,
Overwatch.
Blizzard. How are you?
Yeah. Jeez. Please take my money and free will.
I haven't seen you in a while. What have you guys been up to? A couple years later, you're just like, I finally escaped that Blizzard hole.
And I'm right back in it, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then they're like, oh, Diablo 4. And you're like, oh, goddamn.
No, here's what's worse about Overwatch is that I've got the social aspect. So it's like my in real life friends play this
Yeah.
game,
Mhm.
which is what got me started on World of Warcraft back in 2006 or 7 or whatever.
Yep.
So now it's just like, well, man, I want to play with Zane and Matt and all them, and geez.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not doing anything. Like, let's do some Overwatch.
Right. God damn. They're quoting me like 600 hours is a lot of time to spend on Overwatch. That's when you get really experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, fuck, am I playing this game too much? Like,
How many hours am I at?
I'm like, I think I can hit that like pretty quick at this rate. Jesus.
At this rate, next
I'll be
Tuesday.
there. Yeah. Exactly.
They don't need the patch just yet. I'll just a couple more matches. That's
It's so bad, dude. I'm like, I should go to bed, but I'll just play one more game.
Yep. Sun comes up and you're like, well, shit. There goes my
Yeah.
night.
Guess I'm not going to the gym in the morning.
Since I'm not going to the gym, let me do another match.
Yeah. That's pretty much an accurate representation of my life these days.
Yeah,
So.
I've fallen down that hole myself a couple times where it's just like, and it's, it happened with Overwatch for a little bit. It happened with GTA Online for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Some other ones. Secret World did it for me a little bit. And then like some of the big RPGs, like the multi-disc RPGs, like PS1 era stuff. It's just like, oh hey, I'm playing Parasite Eve. Cool. Oh hey, it's Tuesday. I started playing this on Sunday. What happened to my time? Have I eaten?
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. What's your guy? What's both of you? What's your Overwatch person?
I haven't really played Overwatch. I have it, but I haven't really given it a fair shake.
Yeah.
That's smart. That was wise of you. It shows great patience.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
For me, I usually go like either a Moira or a Mercy. So
Okay.
I'm more support. But
Look
I'm
at
also
you,
an
man.
asshole to my team. So there's
Uh-huh.
that. Because they're just like, oh, let's run ahead. We're on defense. And I'm like, no, we're on defense. Like, let's guard the point or whatever.
Right.
No. We'll go and we'll get them and we'll make sure that they don't get up here. Help, I need heals. And I'm like, you shouldn't have fucking ran. You're out of my network now. So
Right.
treat it like a real healthcare,
That's That's accurate and true. No, but that's true because there's always some tracer that gets through, and then the point is being taken, and then everyone gets thrown off, and it fucks the game up, and then you lose.
Yep.
So I'm totally with you for staying on the point. So.
And then I pull out my little pistol, and they're just like, "Why aren't you healing me or buffing me or whatever?" And I'm like, you guys got enough DPS already. Like, I need to
The thing
defend
that
myself."
pisses me off are the people that they're a mercy, but they join the game with their friend, and then they're only healing their friend.
Yeah.
So then you're like, need heals. Like mercy's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst.
The only time I stick to somebody is when my team has a Genji. Because I know that Genji's going to need all the heals. All of them.
I try playing Genji in skirmish. I'm like, how does anyone fucking play this character? I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
What's your game mode of choice?
Oh, I've just done quick play.
Just on quick
really.
play?
Yeah.
If you want to try other heroes, try mystery heroes in arcade. Every death, they respawn you as somebody else. So.
And that way you are forced to play something new, and so is everyone else. So you're not just like
I'm
sitting there getting rolled because you picked some character you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's in the same boat.
And it helps you learn some of the other characters because it's great to have, like, you got Winston, which is awesome. Like, I can't play Winston, and
he's tough.
He is. He's a tough one to play, but I learned to play Moira from doing that, and now I'll just go into like deathmatch, and I'm like, I'll go into deathmatch as Moira. Like, just fuck it. Why are you a healer? And I'm like, because I can throw damage orbs. Just
yeah, that's rough, dude. I don't know how you win a deathmatch with that, but
well, I don't always get like top 3, but I do all right,
Right.
But she's so fun. It's all about like angles and shit with her. It's like, okay, well, if I throw this here, it'll hit this wall, ping hit that pillar, and then go into that kill box that everybody's about to go into to get that.
No, that's that whole game. That's that whole game though. Is like angles. Like if you're Junkrat, you got to get your angles. If you're Ryan, you got to get your angles. If you're anybody that has like a projectile, Farah, got to get the angle. That game is all about strategy, which is part of the reason why it's so addictive. It's not just for.
Yeah,
that's why Widowmakers can't just stand on their own because they're gonna get stopped.
Yup. Though it is fun watching a Widowmaker just destroy an entire team. You're like, how is this a thing?
It's like, son, I've been playing CS, playing Counter-Strike since 2008, and I got so much time on the AWP. It's no different to me.
Back in my day, we didn't have these fancy wall hacks that Widow can do. We had to do everything by eye.
Oh,
when did you start playing games like this? Back with Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike Source? No. Back when it was a mod for Half-Life. And you're like, well, shit.
CS 1.3, I think, is where it started. Yeah.
1.3. A lot of people stuck at 1.6, though. So.
Yep. Those were the days. Those were the days.
You could also play it with a 56K modem, so
no
complaints.
Exactly. I still play Counter-Strike Go sometimes, but I never got good at that game. Nope. Not my jam.
I don't even have it installed. I think I have it on Steam. I don't have it installed because it's like, I'm not going to fall down that trap. No.
CSGO is like a sultry lover, She treats me badly, and I always come back for more.
Yeah.
Maybe for a week, maybe it'll be a month, and it might be years between when I see her, but I always come back to her, and she always uses me. It's true.
And it's always like, hey, look at the new things we have now.
Yeah.
Look how much I've improved since the last time we were together. Now you can flip 2 knives.
Can you do that?
No, you can only do 1 knife. But it's like, that's one thing I've tried to watch people play CSGO, and it's like, all it seems like is they're just swapping weapons constantly, and I'm like, they bring out the knife, and then they pull out their pistol, and then back to the knife, and I'm like, why are you doing this? That's
how the pros do it.
It's
do you play Magic the Gathering?
I used to.
All right, so okay, but you'll understand, it's a card game.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that kid at the fucking tournament who's got his cards and he's like, I'm trying to look for it right now. Here we go. He's always like this. He's like,
like he's playing fucking poker, and you're like, what?
yeah. I'm like, dude, just fucking relax. It's a fucking game for kids. Like, calm down.
It's a pay-to-win card game for kids.
It's a pay-to-win card game for kids / immature adults like myself.
It's, I mean, that's a whole nother culture though now. Like, it's always been like that with any collectible card games. Always been, I can spend $200 and get this card that'll make my deck the best deck it can possibly be, you know. So
Right.
But do I want to spend $200, or do I want to buy a bunch of booster packs and hope I get what I need?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, okay, so talk about being a bandwagoner. All my friends are like super into Magic the Gathering, and I enjoy it, not as much as they do. I'm not willing to invest $200 in building a deck. So what I do is I just print the cards out. There's sites that are like print a proxy. I'm like, okay, click. Look, these are the cards I want for this deck. Print them out. You know what? It's great because my friends don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And we could just play the game, have fun, and not worry about who had the most money to spend on the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one that introduced this idea to our group, like our meta, and like there was some people that got so pissed. Like there was a scission in the friend group because like some people had spent so much time and money on cards, and they were pissed that some guy like me was being allowed to just print these fuckers out and come in and win games. But fuck, dude, I'm not going to spend $200 on cardboard.
Yeah. You know, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I mean, if, for example, if you're a collector, like, oh, well, you know, I want to collect these and blah, 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 and worry about the value of them and all the other stuff, like, absolutely. Like,
right.
But if you're just doing, if you're doing it for fun, there's no reason you should be spending any more than $10 on a fucking card. Like, just...
Yeah, exactly. I still, you know, I'll still buy cards sometimes now at this point when it's like, yeah, exactly. If it's less than like $5 or $10 or whatever, like whatever, I'm putting a deck together. I don't want to spend more than like $30 or $40 on a deck, honestly, because after that, it's kind of ridiculous. But
no, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like we barely talked about Clan Quest Mod.
Yep. Well, welcome to Gimmick Bag, where we just bullshit 90% of the time. But no, like it's in all actuality, you're, you know, obviously Clan Quest Mod, which is nominated for Mod of the Year on ModDB.
Right. Let's give the shameless promotion to the mod and get people to vote for the thing.
Go vote.
Yeah, go to the Clan Quest Mod ModDB page. You can vote there for that mod. It is a terrific mod, and definitely worth it. It
will change your life.
It will
change Todd's life.
Yeah, it did. It absolutely did. I could say that I can't say that about, you know, other mods that I know of, such as Brutal Doom. Brutal Doom didn't change my life.
I've played Brutal Doom. You know, it's a good mod, but did it change my life?
No. Clan Quest Mod, when I say it changed my life, you know, I hit that point with Bloodlines where it's like every playthrough, I've done basically everything I can do in the game. And then Clan Quest Mod 4 came out, and it's like, oh, hey, new hub. And I'm like, ooh. And it's like, oh, and 2 new quest lines, which, you know, you choose between one or the other. And I'm like,
that's
ooh.
Anubis.
What's up?
Hi, Anubis.
Todd says hi.
Todd.
Hi, Satan. But yeah, I mean, like, it's playing through Clan Quest Mod. For like even playing through 3, like the new quests in there, like to this day after playing 3, I whenever I'm in downtown and I walk past the 2 CDC guys on the corner, I go, hi Steve, like just I'm like, hi Steve, and people are just like, Steve, like they have names. I'm like, oh, you didn't play Clan Quest Mod 3, did you?
Right, exactly.
Like you wouldn't know what I'm talking about then. But
that's me that does the voice for Steve.
oh,
Did you know that?
nice, very cool.
Yeah, I put on an actual gas mask and read the dialogue for Steve.
Steve is
Realism.
terrific though. Like it was just, it fit. It really did. Like, hey, listen, I want to get the fuck out of downtown. Like, can
Place
you
sucks.
can you get me transferred to like Hollywood or something? Because that'd be
Yeah.
great. Yeah, just drop this infectious material in the sewers. And I thought that was great. I really did. And it's like, that was the first time I felt like, oh, hey, I'm actually doing a shitty thing as a vampire.
Right.
Like this is nice. And then oh fuck it. What, oh, god damn it, what's her name?
You're thinking of the Kuei Jin chick.
Yes.
Yeah. Kalian.
There we go.
The Kalian. I'm not even sure how to pronounce the name,
Yeah,
to be
it's
totally honest
one of their
with you.
two, yeah. By far my favorite quest in 3.
Nice.
And I mean, like, it's I play other mods and I expect her there, and I'm like, no. So I can't go and kill a dancer at Vesuvius, and I can't, kill the drug guys at Confession.
Right.
I don't have to fight the Bruja and the gangrel on the pier, and then I don't get to enjoy the silence with her in my apartment. So.
Yeah, that I feel like that quest was like the magnum opus. That was like the
yeah.
jumping off point where I was like, oh, I actually know what the fuck I'm doing and can write halfway decent dialogue, and the quest is like pretty solid, and it's just all around. It's like a solid quest, really good character. Some people don't like her. There's always going to be haters, but in general, just so well received. And yeah, that was when I was new. I was ready for like something like CQM4.
Yeah, and I mean, like even if you don't like the character, like the amount of lore you get from her is like, I was blown away. I'm like, holy shit, we're getting into the Dharmas and we're getting into this. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
I read the entire Kindred of the East book, and I still don't think I got it, but I feel like I conveyed like enough pertinent information that like people can also know some things about this other aspect of the game or the game world, really. So
I mean, it made me look through a bunch of my old PDFs and go, do I have Kindred of the East? I do. Maybe I should take a look at this. And I'm like, or I can play this mod again, do that quest again.
Try when you get to the pier and you save her, try turning her down. Try that sometime.
My chat would hate so much for doing that. Yeah, you
quick save beforehand, right?
Give it a try. Just nothing. I mean, nothing bad happens. I just like I don't hear that dialogue that much. Like some of this stuff is just like burned into my brain. But like obviously, I usually choose that option.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's kind of a refreshing change of pace.
Oh, it is. It is, and I could see that. I can completely see that, and I'm just like, it's definitely something I'll look into. It'll definitely be something I'll do in a future run.
Right.
Because as I said, like, what is it? I'm working on, what am I doing? The V20 pen and paper mod, am I? No, I'm doing the unofficial
X20.
with the X20 Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
That's what I saw most recently on Twitter. You're doing X20 mod right now, I think.
Yeah.
Hard to keep them straight. I know. There's a lot out there.
I mean, I have, like, let me just pull up my little taskbar. Anti-Tribu, Clan Quest, Companion. What is it? Which one's this? Companion, Camarilla Edition. The old pen and paper mod. Final Nights 1.4.1. Final Nights 1.5. V20 pen and paper. Unofficial basic and unofficial plus.
So you got 10 things. Get 10 separate. You're like modder level number of installed folders in your vampire directory.
Actually, I'm not, because that's all installed with the mod loader.
Right, but I'm saying
So,
like,
but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I've
where it's
still
like,
got like 8 billion. Like I've got like 3 separate copies of CQM in
Mm.
my Vampire directory because it's like previous
oh, gotcha.
iterations. Yeah, it's like you're in it, dude.
Yeah,
You're in it.
I'm really tempted to go back to was it 3. What was it 3.1, 3.1.4 maybe? What's that? Might be
For the Clan Quest mod?
yeah. It's,
Oh, don't do that.
And just have that, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do this, and then realize like, oh shit, I don't have the Sabat quest.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
You don't want to play that anymore.
Yeah, no, you don't. Four really just four like really built on it and did an amazing job.
Do you know like this? I thought about this earlier. I forgot to ask. Do you know about the Easter egg in Clan Quest mod?
No, I don't. Which
The singing Ventru.
No.
You don't know.
No.
You don't fucking know. Because I don't officially document it, but it's there. If you look on my YouTube, you will find it. But I implore you not to. I implore you to simply
Discover
find out
it
for yourself. And I think it's when you come back from the museum, I'm pretty sure that's when it appears. But generally, when you next time you're playing the game, keep a close eye on all the furniture in LaCroix's office.
I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Then I think
do you know what I'm talking?
There's a stand. I'm not mistaken.
A mic stand.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. You know.
I knew that was there. I haven't used it. So
you've never used it?
I haven't used it. No.
No, don't. You never used it?
No, I've never used it.
It was there, and you saw there was a use icon.
No, I didn't. I just saw it there. I didn't even like go over it. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a mic stand there. I'm
go try the mic stand next time you see it.
Oh, this is gonna be terrific. Oh.
It's the Easter egg that's in Clan Quest mod, and I'm not even gonna say anything else. So. You're not sleeping tonight. You got jitters right now. You're like, I'm sorry guys, I gotta go.
Gotta play this.
I'm getting the shakes. I'm getting the vampire shakes now. Oh. So guys, Twitch stream.
We're just gonna get through this one part of Clan Quest mod. It's not even the whole thing.
Yeah, no. Hopefully I have a save right around that area.
Yeah, it's there. It's been there since I forget which version I added that, but it was a while back.
I think I remember noticing it in 3.1.
Oh, it's for sure in 3.1, yeah. I can't remember if it's in 3 or 2 or what, where it first shows up. So, but give it a try. You will not be disappointed.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I have something to look forward to.
I'm always happy to give you something to look forward to.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, like the Sabat quest line gave me the feels of my first time of playing Bloodlines again, and it was magic. Like that's a feeling that everybody chases. Like your first playthrough, you're like, oh my god, this, like you get to the end, you're like, oh my god, this is such an amazing game, such an experience. Like the first time you go through the Ocean House, like that's one of those turning points in the game where people are like, they're not sold on it, then they go to the Ocean House and they're like, this is a fucking horror game. Oh shit.
That I specifically remember like the light bulb bursting on the porch and just like shitting my fucking pants. Yeah. Like there's nothing scary about it really, but like they just executed it so perfectly. Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm pretty sure I have a clip of me like whimpering going through this fucking place on my Twitch channel. I was like, I don't like this. Do I have to?
Yes, you do. It'll be okay.
There's spooky piano sounds.
Yeah, and then Halloween rolled around. You're like, hey, do you think you could get me that spooky piano sound from the Ocean House?
Here's the music.
Yep, here you go. It's in the game files. This is what it's called. You know what? I'll just send it to you. Fuck it. You own the game already.
Yeah.
So not to just like romanticize Bloodlines all night, but we have to because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But the thing that like hooked me on the game was the tweaker's house, the drug dealer's house, because like I said, I started a Malkavian and then bullshit, so I restarted as a Bruja, and so I kind of got to see that from like two different angles, like from the very beginning. And it was immediately when I got to that scenario, I was like, oh, this is the kind of game where I get to really decide how I'm going to play this. Am I going to be stealthy, seductive, like aggressive, just use a glib tongue? Like I can handle this situation any way I see fit. And that whole theme like persists throughout like 70% of the game at least.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few areas where there's forced combat.
Right.
But I mean, most of the time there's multiple ways to deal with the situation and so on and so forth. So
right. But that's what hooked me on that game. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm a fucking undead badass and I can handle this shit as I see fit.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, like you including part of one of my favorite parts of like a mod that was another game changer. Including the blood loss, was terrific. Having that as an optional thing in the install.
Oh yeah, that was a last minute thing too. I was like, this Camarilla edition, I love it, but it's fucking blood loss. It's just such a contentious thing because some people love it, some people hate it.
Oh yeah, no, and I get that. For me personally, I like having that option of like. Oh, hey, like, I'll play unofficial patch, and I'm just, like, I'm racing through things because I'm so used to, like, every 4 minutes, boom. Every 4 minutes, like, lose another blood point. And I'm like, I've been standing here for 10 minutes, and I have not dropped any blood. Oh, shit, I don't have the blood loss timer. This is terrific.
Right.
It makes you
put all those dots into stamina for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your soak's a little better, so.
Yeah. Mori knows. She's been trained.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh my gosh. What else can I tell you about Clan Quest mod? What are your questions?
Yeah, Mori, do you have any questions at all?
I did not prepare anything. I'm a terrible co-host.
About any because you're new to the Bloodlines in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can ask literally anything.
Yeah.
I probably know close to as much as is possible about Bloodlines as you can imagine, or possibly know, unless you were the original developer.
Yeah.
But like top 20 at least in the world. So it's a pretty good skill. I put it on my resume. So
I know so much about this game.
Yeah, it's so useful.
Yeah.
Definitely a life skill.
Oh, know how to mod in source beta, and they're just like, who would even do that? And you're just like, shit. Just
a masochist, me. Like, could you just like spit in my eye and then hit me with a bat?
Oh, so you know, you mentioned what got you hooked on the game, the choice. You know, in over the iterations of the mod, what would you consider one of your favorite little parts
of the mod or of the game?
Of the finished mod?
Well, let me think about that for a second. You know what's funny is like all the quests that I did in the previous editions of Clan Quest mod, like at this point, like I can't help but like you probably love it. You eat it up or whatever, but I look back at it and I like cringe a little bit. Almost every single one of them. Because I'm like, I didn't know the source material. I wasn't that good of a writer. I was like, made all these mistakes in like the quest design. I'm just like, oh.
Well, and I mean, the thing is, it all in all does show growth. Of like,
right.
Like, this is where I started, and, you know, I really didn't have any complaints back then.
Right.
So, and to see where you're at now, where it's like, oh, well, we have East LA. It's like...
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge improvement. And so, I mean, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, we talked about earlier, the Callian quest is sort of a turning point, because that's where I was like, I just made like this independent quest. It wasn't like
it's not tied to
dialed.
anything.
Yeah, it's not dialed into any specific or clan or like specific preconditions. You just roll up and you do this cool quest, and it's like a night out with your friend. Is what it's trying to simulate. And that was like a turning point for me, because I felt like I really understood the engine and how to write well and like how to make a character and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, I'm ready for this 4.0 stuff. And I just kind of like, I told you earlier, I had this pen and paper game where I drew in some of the characters that the players in the game were playing. Those became NPCs that you meet. So I mentioned these 2 Malkavians that were among my players. One of them was Hazel. That's the guy that you meet at the church. He's a sock puppet. Yeah.
When you run a game with them again, you go, all right, so just gonna let you know, you're now talking with a sock puppet. So
yeah, this is a fun fact of the day. In the pen and paper game, Hazel basically went totally like irate. Like he just ended up going on diablerie spree.
Oh,
he just lost all of his humanity. Then he was he was confronted by a Sabbat Priscus who wanted a new vessel. And so Hazel took him into his veins. He diablerized this Sabbat Priscus, and he became the end boss. So one of the players in the game became the end boss.
Damn.
Yeah, it got real. But to go back to answering your question, like my favorite thing, I think it's maybe something that a lot of people don't see. It's like what happens to the secondary characters in Clan Quest mods. So you meet Arturo or Ariana, and one of those two gets embraced based on which pack that you choose. And then they sort of continue to develop as the plot continues.
Nice.
And it's sort of this like aspect into like, okay, so you meet these people as humans, they become vampires, and then their like personality continues to evolve into the unlife. And it's a little forced and rushed because the game's like story kind of like
kind of forces you to
you have to
pace.
Yeah, exactly. But like you see Arturo just like devolve into this like diablerie addicted like maniac. And you see Ariana like unwind completely into this like manic depressive fucking like crazy person who like she's delusional and like disassociated from reality because she's Malkavian. And I was just so happy with how the writing came out for that, because both of those things were like last minute changes. And I was like, I got to add something extra to these characters if they're going to be companions. And so I was just able to crank it out really quickly. And I think I presented something like was pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite aspects of Clan Quest mod.
Nice. I mean, I haven't done the Hazel side and gotten Ariana as a companion and such. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, she becomes a companion, if you didn't know.
Ooh.
Spoilers ahead / behind. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like in its entirety, like I was impressed, regardless of the issues, which happens, it's a buggy ass engine. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You can only do so much with it. And I mean, I would say that based on what I've seen, it looked like you pushed that thing to its limits. So
yeah, like, okay, so people crash on the downtown hub map a lot, I think is what happens. I don't know if it's related or what, but I found this during the development process is that there's an upper limit on the number of map transitions that can be available on any given map. And downtown LA is at the absolute maximum. There's 32 possible map transitions. And it's just stuff like that, like, so basically I was working on the aspect of the game where when you lose all your humanity, you see this cutscene, it takes you to this map, and you see this cutscene where your character goes crazy. And so testing that in the downtown, it was like crashing. I couldn't understand why. And just through pure serendipitous luck, I found this issue where you can't have more than 32 map transitions. And I don't know if that is what is partially responsible for all the crashes that people experience on that map. But certainly it demonstrated to me just how completely fragile the
Yeah.
engine is and how limited you really are in what you're able to do, because when you're just running into random ass shit like that, it is frustrating.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen issues like that in another mod, but then again, that mod was extremely ambitious in what it did, and
Right.
added, in my opinion, way too much.
Which mod was that, if you don't mind?
Anti-Tribu.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can talk about Anti-Tribu if you want.
Anti-Tribu is one of those mods that like people go, "Oh, is it a good mod?" I'm like, it's not for me.
You're like, ah.
Well,
I can see the appeal of it though. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I can see the appeal for it. It's not a mod for me.
Right.
In my opinion, way too much combat.
Yes.
I will say I did enjoy having functional firearm mechanics at the start of the game though. That I thought was terrific. I like
something more than a shitty, inaccurate 6-shot
Yeah.
revolver.
Well, it's like even with the revolver, like I'm going through the tutorial in Anti-Tribu, and I'm like, holy shit, it fired where I aimed.
this is amazing.
Yeah,
This is great.
I was completely blown away. I was like, oh my god. And I praised it. I was like, finally, good gun mechanics in this game.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized that I need that for the entire game. So just
Right. You do. You really do.
You need that. You need companions. Like, oh, you gotta have a whole group with you. Like,
I don't know. I played through the whole thing with La Sombra, and I never picked up, because like I find the companions so frustrating.
yeah.
So I never picked up the companions.
I played through as a Nagaraja and I played as a Zamitsi. So
Okay.
And in both cases, I'm like, yeah, I need the assist.
You need some help. Yeah. It was rough. It was rough. So the person that like primarily worked on that was this woman named Laniska.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So she helped out with Clan Quest mod. She
Mhm.
helped create like a lot of the models for some of the new
The
characters.
model work is amazing. Like her model work is great.
So she did some of the work, and then I had another fella that came in, Zoltar, and he did amazing work. Holy fuck, dude. I couldn't even believe what he was able to get in Bloodlines. But Lanuska was there with me in like early days helping with Clan Quest mod.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing, dude. Like I think she got burned out is what happened. And I think she got burned out with Anti-Tribu. So like she worked on that really hard for a while, and she made a bunch of great stuff, and then just kind of like had enough, walked away, and is sort of done with it. But I hit her up on ModDB about Clan Quest mod, and she was like pushing along, helping me. She made the Mac. She made Jesse. She made the base for Hazel. She made a bunch of stuff. But then she just like fell off the map, like out of the blue. Like we're having this like really deep conversation, and like she just had enough, I guess. Like she got burned out on Bloodlines or whatever, but she just like disappeared. It was really sad, and I haven't heard from her since then.
What I mean, based on what you just said, the models, those specific models, those were really well done.
Yeah, she did a great job.
If there's one thing I could say about Anti-Tribu, the model work was amazing.
Right.
Whether it was the Harbinger of Skull in the cemetery, which I thought was an interesting one I didn't expect. I also didn't expect the basically super military hunters that drop down in at King's Way, and you're like, what's this?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little unnecessary, wasn't it?
In my opinion, that was.
It's like she had a lot of good ideas, but nowhere to put it. So
yeah,
it just ended up kind of wherever.
Yeah, and I mean, it was, as I like to put it, it was very ambitious. It really was.
Yeah.
I can't fault somebody for throwing out there whatever they could. I will flat out praise that. At the same time, I realized it wasn't a mod for me. So, and you're gonna run into that. There's people that are, I'll only play the vanilla game, and that's fine. There's people that
Who says that? Who says that?
People that don't know better. People that haven't been playing the game for years.
Right.
But at the same time, you get people that are like, oh, like you mentioned, like I mentioned the blood timer before, and you're like, yeah, some people like it, some people hate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those things. Like some people really liked the blood timer and they enjoyed Camarilla Edition, or they enjoyed Final Nights.
Right.
I mean, Final Nights also, like, Final Nights is another fun one where I've I every now and then, like, I would give Zeromorph shit, because just it's just a little banter of like, I love Jimmy Reed and how horrible his voice acting is.
Is it pretty bad?
It's pretty bad. It's apparently the same person that did Akeem also did Jimmy Reed. But Jimmy Reed was
this guy's gonna cry himself to sleep tonight. He's probably watching right now.
But Jimmy Reed apparently, from what I believe I was told by Zeromorph, was originally supposed to be an NPC, and because the audio quality was so bad, they moved it to a telephone, which I thought was great. And I'm just like, all right. But then
at that point, I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a different voice actor, honestly. Like,
but then you have on the flip side, you have another character that was introduced in 1.4, which was Sylvia Black, who is very well done. And right. And it's like night and day. Like, I'll do the Jimmy Reed quest, and I'm like, guys, see how bad this sounds? We're going to see Sylvia Black, and they're like, oh, do we have to? Is it gonna be? I'm like, trust me. And they're like, holy shit, it's night and day. And I'm like, yeah. But
dude, like, Sylvia Black is the same model as Kalyan, as the base model. And it's also like the voice actress is really similar. I'm like, did you just poach my voice actress? Did you just poach my model and my voice actress?
It's terrific though. It really is. Like,
yeah.
Because I remember the first time running into Sylvia Black, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing here? I'm supposed to meet you in Chinatown. And then it's just like, back off, vampire. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. And then it's just like, oh shit, you're Sylvia Black. Okay. So you used to work for the Foo Syndicate, who's a secretive organization who has a secret hideout. It's not a building with their fucking name on the side in Chinatown, by the way. That kills me. Like, oh, we're a secretive organization, and it's like, yeah, they have their name on the side of the building. It'd be like the Society of Leopold having like a big sign saying "Home of the Society of Leopold" right in front of their place. You're like, why would you do that? Like, come on.
Well, it's like well, it's the world of darkness, right?
Yeah.
It's like you've got this idea that like everything seems legit on the outside. Yeah. Once you get on the inside, there's something else there waiting for you.
Well, and I agree with you on that. But the thing is if you know, like, the Foo Syndicate's like, if you're a hunting group called the Foo Syndicate, you're going to use a different name on your building.
Right, it's true. Or like you're going to be like the super secret like part of that organization.
Exactly.
Like, if it was PepsiCo. You know, I used to be part of PepsiCo. It's a secret organization. Maybe you've heard of it. I don't know.
And then the person's just like, really? I think I may have heard of them a few times. Like, what's so secretive about them? And they're like,
oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand now.
But Arsenal mod, or not Arsenal mod, Anti-Tribute mod, to me is like a testament to the. I'm gonna get a little real with you here. It's like the inherent like cattiness and
that's fine
dramatic aspect of the Bloodlines modding community, where people, and myself included, I'm not saying I'm excluded from this. I'm exactly as susceptible as the rest of the modders. We are like so beholden to the products that we make, the mods that we make.
Yeah.
And it causes so much fucking drama between all the. This is why you don't really have, I think, like a concerted team of Bloodline modders working together, because there's like 6 of us And we're all just like, no, I've got my idea. And they're like, no, I've got my idea. So like,
Oh god.
and I think that's part of what like made Anti-Tribute kind of tear apart, because I know there was a decision between the guy that was like doing all the PR stuff and then Lanuska, who was doing all the actual heavy lifting. And then there was just like, and then her and I think some of the other modders in the community kind of had some headbutting going on. So it's just like,
Yeah.
that kind of led to, I think, a falling apart of that whole project, which is unfortunate because it had a lot of potential.
It did. It really did. And I mean, if it had gotten another iteration where things got kind of cleaned up a little bit, or little things changed up, not so much forced combat, I honestly think I could recommend it more often. Like right now, and I'm not just saying this because we're having this discussion, but if people ask me like, oh, what mods do you recommend? I go Clan Quest, Final Nights.
In that order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because some people don't like the blood timers, so
right.
You have that option. And I mean, and some people are really beholden to the original clans too. They don't want to really mess with, like the Asimite and the followers of Set and stuff like that. It's nice to have, but they're like, I really like, the Gangrel, or I really like the Nosferatu. And you're like, yeah, that's, if you want a new experience with what you're familiar with, Clan Quest all the way. All the way.
Well, I mean, that's what I think. That's what makes sense to me, because to me, like the strong points of Bloodlines, like the basic game, is the story and the dialogue. And if I can add to that and I can lend to that and I can make something like a better story, like it really doesn't matter that much what clan you're playing. I think people want like novel, like sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the way the game plays, like the mechanics, And that's the value you get out of something like Final Nights or Cameroon Edition, where you're playing like different clans. But yeah, to me, it just doesn't matter that much. I think the mechanics, like more or less, are always the same. Like you've got some ability that like
usually one discipline different, essentially.
Exactly. It's not that different. And I mean, even if you tweak the disciplines a little bit, like it's kind of cool, but like the novelty of it wears off pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if you've got a fresh story, if you've got like some new material to work with, like this. So that's what I've always tried to focus on. I think that's the most important thing. And I think it paid off with Clan Quest Mod. If
it absolutely
people like yourself are like putting that at the top of your list of mods to recommend.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of chomping at the bit when it got announced that you were doing 4, and I was just like, oh shit, like this is gonna be fun. And then it's like just kind of every now and then a little trickle of info would come out, a little trickle of info, and and it's like a little reminder of like, oh, it's still there. It's
still coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not dead. Yeah. I'm not dead yet.
But then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, October 27th,
28th, something like that.
Yeah, 27th was the release of the mod, and the 31st was the patch. And I was just like, and 4-day turnaround on a patch was like,
yeah, it's pretty good.
That's really good. I know there's AAA developers that can't do that. So
well, and I only fixed like 4 bugs, but it was 4 important bugs. So yeah. Oh my god. We've been talking for like a long time.
Yeah,
a couple of hours.
We're just about to hit the 2-hour mark. Mori.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is what happens. Like we start talking, next thing we know, we're like, oh shit, we're 2 hours in. Like,
I know, and it's like it's one of these topics it's easy for me to talk about because I know a lot of
yeah, and I mean, like, I know I tweeted out earlier where it's just like in about 2 hours I'm going to be talking to a legend, because I mean that's kind of like I mean like when it comes to as a fan, when it comes to the mod community, like you guys are, in my opinion, like I revere you as like these awesome people that have been able to keep something alive for as long as you have. And not only that, but also expand on it. I mean,
Right.
hell, CQM4 is a testament to that.
It's really an expansion to the game.
Yeah.
It's like DLC. That's how I describe it to plebes that don't play Bloodlines.
It's basically a free
So maybe you heard
DLC.
of DLC.
Yeah.
I'm a
Most
big
people.
deal.
Yeah, just go to ModDB and download the thing there and install it, and you'll have a great time. And I mean that's the truth. And while you're there, vote for CQM as mod of the year.
Yes, I want people to vote. I'm not gonna lie. I need my fragile ego to be satisfied and to be verified and validated, and for people to click like on it. And
yeah, I mean,
so
it's it's really like I wouldn't, if it wasn't for my passion for Vampire, I don't think I would have gotten as far as I have, and people like you have definitely helped me inadvertently get to where I am, and I talked about changing lives. You guys really have. You have Wes Paz, Zero Morph, Child of Malkov, Luneska even has done all that. The people that throw up texture mods on Nexus mods and stuff. You know, I kind of wish there was a dedicated place just for Bloodlines mods instead of going to Nexus mods for my textures and ModDB for everything else.
Most of the Nexus skins are on ModDB at this point. I feel like
that'd be nice.
I feel like, I don't know. I haven't like cross-referenced them exactly, but I know what you mean. I don't know. I feel like
I like one-stop
Planet
shopping.
Planet Vampire tries to be that place, but I don't know how successful it is necessarily. But
well, I mean, they just recently Sinothorn said he's stepping down.
Oh, I know. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, he's been at it for what, 18 years?
18 years, he said. 18 years.
Shit, I remember going to Planet Vampire before like right before Redemption came out. And that's a game that they've kept alive, Since
when did that come out? Like 2004?
Bloodlines came out 2004.
What time? When did Redemption come out? It must have been before that. 2000. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's literally been doing it since then. That's why he knows so much about that engine. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I mean, it's definitely a loss for him stepping down. Completely understand it though, and nothing but the best. He still said he's going to be part of the community, which is great.
Right.
So we're not losing him there. But it's just, I don't know. Like it's one of the things that was mentioned is Planet Vampire. How like was on GameSpy and then kind of became its own thing and so on and so forth. Tried to host mods and stuff, but they couldn't do it as effectively as like a ModDB or Nexus. So
right. I mean, here's the harsh truth is like they used to host Clan Quest mod.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to mirror the file there because I know it's a huge draw on their bandwidth. And like you said, like ModDB and all these other sites can actually do it so much better. So it's not really necessary to put it there. Yeah. And that's fine. Like they've got the forum, they've got the community. That's what they do well. I'm always on people focusing on what they do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to do everything. And, they do the forum really well and keeping the community engaged. And I think as long as they keep doing that, like they don't need to worry about doing file hosting. Yeah. They've helped me out because one thing that ModDB doesn't do well is documenting things.
Yes.
And so there's for instance, like the walkthrough and the install guide and all that shit is on Planet Vampire because they just gave me the freedom to make a web page and set myself up and just host that information there. So I think if they keep doing that, they're going to be fine.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Providing those kinds of resources to modders of the games like myself, those kinds of assets, it's hugely helpful.
Oh yeah. No, and I mean it's it doesn't like to somebody that doesn't know the stuff, it doesn't seem like much, but little things like that really help.
It really goes a long way to like polishing it and making sure that it seems professional. Like having a page that I can send people to just like be like, this is a known issue. Like,
yeah,
here's the solution or here's my description. Like that goes a long way.
As opposed to digging through all the ModDB comments and going, yeah, no, that was reported like a week ago.
Yeah, I actually need to update the known issues page. Not that people are necessarily going to read it, but it's nice that it's there.
Yeah, it's there, and you could just be like, it's in the known issues page here.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, so I mean, you got Overwatch going on, and that's, a nice little vacation from all this, which is deserved. Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah. It was just such a huge amount of work to get the mod out there. So,
and I mean,
it's nice to take a break.
Yeah, I mean, Zero Morph did something very similar with after TFN 1.4, where it's just like, I've done a lot of modding on this game. I'm taking a step back, and then got involved in modding. I think it was Skyrim and Oblivion or something like that.
Right.
And then came back. It's like out of nowhere. It's like, by the way, guys, doing TFN 1.5, and we're releasing the same month as CQM. And I'm just like,
all right, cool, I guess.
There goes my month. Like,
yeah.
I'm like,
it's
all right,
a good Halloween.
Yeah, it was. It totally was. I'm like, all right, well, now I got something to hold me over until CQM comes out. But
2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, can I get this through? Because I can get through a playthrough relatively quick. But I mean, I'm just
playing Bloodlines for me at this point is like meditating. Because I could basically do it in my sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just it's just like, I'm just gonna go to this guy and do this quest, go to this guy, do that quest.
I would like to see you do the warrants blindfolded at this point, just from here.
I could honestly, I should Twitch stream that. I could probably blindfold play through Bloodlines.
Nice.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. What Mori brought up the Warrens. What are your feelings on the Warrens?
Yes, how do you feel about the Warrens?
Oh, people give it way too much shit. Like, I introduced a shortcut through the Warrens in like 3.1 or something, and then there's a secondary shortcut in 4 if you just agree to Andre's deal. So like, there's 2 ways in Clan Quest Mod to skip like most or all of the Warrens. But I don't know. I was doing the Let's Play videos to help promote Clan Quest Mod, and I was going through the Warrens. This is like, you know what? This is part of the game. Like, I just have to play it and get through it. And it wasn't really that bad, honestly. I remember the first time playing through thinking what a slog it was. I remember showing it to my best friend at the time and him like quitting the game completely at that point. But I'm like, it's like the zombie quest with Romero. It's like the shared. It's like, yeah, fuck that quest, fuck the Warrens. It's like this shared experience where we all have played Bloodlines and we've all been fucked over by the Warrens.
Yep.
And like, if you don't know that experience, like, you don't really truly know Bloodlines. It's like, it's okay. So I called CS my sultry lover. It's like my loyal lover. It's like, you accept her in spite of her flaws. Yeah. It's like, yeah, the Warrens are a fucking pain in the ass, but it's worth it for what comes before and after that.
Oh, and I'll agree with you on that completely. I mean, I think, and I've said this time and time again, when people go, what do you think about the Warrens? I go, it's one of the best and worst designed areas of that game at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fun, like, up until you get to the, like, let's do the platforming puzzle down the pipe, and you're just like, well, shit.
Which one? There's like 3 that are just total nonsense.
The one with the giant fan.
Oh yeah, that's the one my friend quit on. He was like, fuck this is dumb.
Yeah. But then again, I've also done in another mod, what was it? The original pen and paper mod, which that thing, one of the earliest mods I could find for the game.
Yeah.
There's an optional pen and paper combat add-on, which you go, oh hey, that doesn't sound that bad, until you get one-shotted by Gimbal.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
So
because
basically, what you're telling me is this kid didn't play test his shit before he put it out there.
well, it's not that it didn't play test it. It's just that like it even says like the you don't need to use the combat add-on. It's a separate download. But if you want your combat to feel more like the pen and paper game, then you use this. And I'm like, all right, well, let me install that. No big deal. And apparently, Gimbal critted. So,
Wow.
and he killed me flat out with his
Instantaneously.
instant. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And then the second time, it took like 3 hits. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, all right, well, I'm prepared now. I have blood bags. I'm good. Playing as a fucking Tremere. I'm just gonna spam my fucking blood strike on him and run.
That's like your MO, I think, is to spam blood drain. I saw your Let's Play or your Twitch for the Clan Quest mod. You're just like playing Tremere. You're like spamming the blood.
I mean, that's Tremere basically. It's
right.
You don't need melee. You don't need brawl. You have thaumaturgy, and it takes care of everything you need.
Right.
Bloodstrike, I mean, in CQM, Bloodstrike is very close to the original version where it doesn't actually give you blood back, which I was like, oh, that's cool.
It will, but you have to stand still.
Mm.
You can't move. That's the trick.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, I don't mess with the disciplines. If that's how it works, that's how it works in unofficial patch, I think.
Yeah.
So,
which sounds about right. About right. But then again, I've played so many different mods that like so many of them have tweaked things where it's like this one does this and Bloodstrike and this does that. So it's like
there's
I
no
get
way to
used
keep
to it.
All straight.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I can't tell the difference between plus patch and regular patch anymore. It's all the same to me.
Yeah, I mean the only difference I see is like a couple new locations and the exterior to the museum. So
right. Yeah, I need to get that shit in there though. That's another big to do for the next version of Clan Quest mod is integrating the latest version of the unofficial patch where they started bringing in all these new maps. Because they got
because you're running 9.2, right?
Yeah, and this kid Ettentrek built all these amazing and West did some of them too, I think. Built these amazing maps, and they're so good and so well done, and I really need to get those to be part of Clan Quest mod.
One thing you did get included in CQM was the X20, which I thought was really cool.
Now that, if you want to talk about last minute, that was last minute. That was like 2 days before the release.
Oh God.
Ian's like, hey, I know you were interested in this. So you still want to do it? And I was like, I was gonna wait until the bug patch, but fuck it, let's just do it.
Sure.
So I took all the files that he had and just loaded into the installer, tested it out. I'm like, it's just changing textures. So like, how bad could it be? And yeah, it was just like an easy win. And like you said in your install video, you're like, oh, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the X20 mod. This is pretty slick.
Yeah, that's nice. Real nice. Because I know like Ian, like, you know, it's no secret Ian like will every now and then be like, by the way, you have an email. And I go, what? And I'll look and it's like the new version that he hasn't released yet.
Oh, nice.
So like I'll take a look at it and he goes, you should take a look at those patch notes. And I'm like, all right, let me take a look at those. And I'm like, oh shit, like we're going references on that? Nice. So
it goes all the way.
Yeah.
All the way down to the bottom.
Yeah. And I mean he just did the release the plus version of the X20, which adds like little Easter egg, like new Easter eggs and stuff like that on computers. And kind of threw an Easter egg for me in there. I was just like,
oh, I saw that.
I was just like, oh shit.
It was an email like to you from someone.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was CC'd on it. Where it's just like, it's phenomenal's not spelled with an F. Just, and I thought, like, honestly, it's one of the coolest things. Like, it's, you know, I did pre-release on TFN 1.4, and got mentioned on Planet Vampire, which to me was like the biggest, like one of the biggest honors I've ever had, because I grew up looking at that website and I'm like, you know, it'd be really cool to be one time mentioned there, and it's like, this happened, like what the fuck, like, and I marked out really hard for that. Another time was the first time Ian popped into one of my live streams.
Nice.
I really wish I had the foresight to highlight it, because like just kind of talking bullshit and stuff like that, and he goes, "You do know that I'm the community manager at Honest Path Publishing, right?" And I was just like, what It's like this.
You're like, wait, can you say that
Hang
again?
on a minute.
Yeah, it was just like, and apparently I was his first live stream or something like that, vampire live stream, and it was just,
Oh my god.
yeah, so it was like a very interesting thing, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing, And I mean, we have our banter on Twitter and, so on and so forth. He'll pop into the channel every now and then when he can. We'll just kind of bullshit and talk, and
Right.
especially now that I'm doing the X20 stuff, and it's just because that's his, like.
He's a really cool guy.
Oh, he is.
And he helped out with Clan Quest mod too. He helped make the maps for the new
Those slick bus stations, bus maps.
station maps. Yeah, exactly. So he helped out with that, and he helped out with a few other little things with textures, and just he's been really supportive of Clan Quest mod and promoting it. And it's like you said, he's just a decent guy all around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm super thrilled that like he was able to kind of help you out and kind of incorporate like what he does. Like his visual art is like amazing. So
yeah, he's on point. He knows what he's doing. So
like I know one of the things I did in my install video was change the in the title, the main menu with the old clan logos, like change it out with the updated ones that he had done. And I think you made a comment. You're like, well, now I know two things I got to do with this with the next version of this.
Oh god, that wasn't even one of them.
Oh,
it was like three things then.
Yeah.
Hey, can we take like a 1 minute pause? I have to pee.
Yeah, no problem.
So bad. It's not even funny. I will
Not
be
a
right
problem.
back.
We'll be right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has been like super fun. Yeah. How you doing, Mori?
My butt's falling asleep.
It happens.
I'm getting ready to fall asleep. It's getting close to my bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm not going to say this is going longer than I anticipated, but like this has been so much fun. Like to me, the time has not even passed. So.
Yeah.
Shame, 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 bad vampire, shame.
No, I really need to. I'm probably, if I do start playing Bloodlines again, I'll probably have to start a new character and just kind of have it be me going through everything and just learning how to do stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, like, now that you're doing, you got kind of a better understanding of the game in general.
Yeah, I think that'll help out a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of the stuff's different because we're doing V5 on December 30th.
Right.
On twitch.tv/Precipice Podcast.
Yes.
We're going to be doing that there. It'll be a lot of fun. Very awesome time. We have Moriarty, Dorky Ray, Thurballen of Thurballen Gaming. It's Anubis and Mvelt.
Mvelt.
Yep.
Ooh, are you going to make me a Moriador t-shirt?
I am tempted. I am very tempted to do a Moriador t-shirt because we do have a couple shirts that'll be going live on December 30th. Right now, there's only one made, but I do plan to have several.
Woohoo!
The first one is a standard. They're basically going to be text shirts or whatnot. But the first one that's done is "It's true. Oh, it's Ventrue." So that'll be available on TeePublic starting December 30th. So,
yay!
Yeah, I mean, this is. I honestly, we don't bring guests on.
Like no, we don't. It's generally just us.
Yeah, and this has been so much fucking fun. We need to.
I can't wait for us to have like Manny and Ian on.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't wait to have Ian on. It'll be so much fun. Another Gimmick Bag, the Guestening.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, And I told you about Manny, how he said he has to look at, because he's starting a new job, he's got to see when his
Right.
schedule can accommodate.
Right.
But he did agree to do another spot on the show, so that's really cool. And Ian, it's just a matter of schedules.
Yeah.
I keep looking over at the shaming of LaCroix, and I think it's fucking terrific.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, I'm super stoked for the game later on in the month.
Oh yeah. And hopefully it goes long term.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I've been spitting stuff out at you. Like, Anubis is planning for the long game. I don't know about the others, but I know like him and me, we're for it. Ballin
built his character like it was built his characters.
Yes,
plural. for you guys that don't listen to Pod Errors, what happened was with Ballin decided to create one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a gangrel, he's got a Bruja, he's got a Sedite Ministry, all of that. Like every fucking clan, every variation he's got, which is really interesting. Welcome back.
Well, dude, how long was I gone? Because I felt like I was peeing for like ever.
No big deal.
I thought I was gonna have to come back and have you guys call for help because I couldn't stop.
Help! I can't finish.
It won't stop coming out. Stuck this way.
This is what I get for having all these liquids.
Oh my god.
Well, I drank 2 of these tall boys and I'm feeling pretty toasty now, but
nice.
Yeah,
it went right through me. Yeah.
What was your beverage of choice?
Let's see
IPA.
here. We've got Goose.
Ooh.
Goose Island's IPA.
Nice.
And this is a beer that I have mixed feelings about because they're bought out by Anheuser-Busch. It used to be a local brewery up around Northern Illinois, Chicago area.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget them because this one night I was out with my friend and they had like the bar girls come around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? The promotional bar girls.
Mm-hmm.
And they bought us like a full round of beers and they gave us like full-size bottle openers and like t-shirts. They just like, I think it was their first night and they didn't know how this works. But they just gave like
let's just give you beers and like all of our swag.
Exactly. They're just like, you get all the swag, have fun. I was like, great. So it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Goose Island stuff's pretty good. I didn't know they were bought out, which now means I'm not going to be really getting their products. So
I don't, you know what? It hasn't changed that much. It was still good. I bought it tonight because it was cheap. But like, I got no problem with Goose Island, even though they're bought out. I think Anheuser-Busch has changed their business model so that they are just buying stuff, but not changing how people run their businesses.
If that's the case, then I can get behind that.
Yeah. So I don't want to like put them in a bad position. I'd rather promote them because
fair.
It's good beer.
It is a tasty beverage. So
it's good beer. It's good beer.
What's the ABV on it?
Let's see here.
Is it like a 6, maybe a 7?
I'm not finding it on this can.
Oh
wait, what's this? It says 5.9.
5.9. So it's just about a 6. That ain't bad.
It's decent.
Yeah.
These there's these beers they sell here now called Elysian. I don't know if you've seen this go around.
Yep.
Oh man, those things are trouble. You're like, I'm having fun drinking beer, and then you're like just devastated because it's like 11%. It's like drinking wine.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah, there's a specific stout that Anubis goes for. And I think it's like Cecil.
Yeah. And when I can, I go with Stone Ruination, which is a 9 point something. And I'm just like, I'll have 2 of those, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm
that
really
shit
good.
will ruin you. If I had bought 3 of these right now, it'd be a like 50% more fun interview. Let me tell you something.
It's been a fun one regardless. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this is interesting to segue into fun things that we talk about when we're 2 beers down.
Nice.
So, you talked about Bloodlines has changed your life.
Yes.
And I would say the same.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in a lot of ways more acutely so.
Okay.
But Bloodlines has just because I've worked on the mod and it's just been such a time consuming thing. But the thing that's interesting about Bloodlines is it's introduced me to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so you get on the forum, you talk to people, you get to know people pretty well, and I'm generally a pretty friendly guy, and I've made friends with people, people that I've stayed in touch with now for almost 10 years.
Wow.
And this has actually lent itself to about 5 years ago. I went on a trip. This was between Clan Quest Mod 3 and 4. So after the Kallian quest and before I started working the Sabbat thing. That's when I went on my real bender, to just take a break from Bloodlines and have some fun.
Yeah.
And I took a trip through Europe.
Oh.
And I was gone for 2 months, I think. And I actually stopped at all these different places and met people and stayed with people in some cases that I had met through the Bloodlines community.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
That's actually really cool.
It was a life-changing experience. I met Wesp in real life.
Very cool.
Yes, I have met Wesp in real life. We hung out for a couple days in Munich, Germany, and I stayed at his place. And we talked about Bloodlines and walked all over town, and it was super cool. And I've also met the not Zeromorph, but Child of Malkav.
Nice.
So he lives in Germany, and just by pure coincidence, I was in the same city that he lives in. So I met him up and had a beer with him. That was super cool. I get an instant message. Did you instant message me?
I did not.
No.
Someone instant messaged me on Discord. Like I said, I don't Discord much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and besides that, I also met a friend that I met through Bloodlines in Finland. I met a friend that I met through Bloodlines in France. She's gone on to start this really successful blog, Secrets of the Masquerade. And she self-publishes some of these books that you can do on Drive-Thru-RPG.
Nice.
Is it Drive-Thru-RPG or which one is it? Which portal is it you can self-publish?
Storyteller Vault.
Storyteller Vault, that's what I'm thinking of.
But it all links through Drive-Thru, so.
Yeah, exactly. So she self-published some PDFs through there. Yeah, it was just great because I had all these hookups and connections and got to meet people in real life, and it was super fun.
Awesome.
So Bloodlines has changed my life in this incredible way that I have made all these great personal connections and traveled the world. And
I mean, that it really is amazing. It's just, I mean, you don't think that a video game could do that, and you look at it and you go, wow, look at all this shit that actually did happen.
Yeah, I actually did all this stuff. I almost returned Bloodlines. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I first bought it and the game, you know how it is if you don't have the unofficial patch installed, buggy piece of shit. The game crashed right out of the box. I had to install the graphics drivers, and then it crashed again. I had to install the unofficial patch, and then they're like, "Oh, you're a Malkavian. Fuck you. Go back and roll a Bruja." I was like, oh, what? I should just return this. I don't know if that's even possible through Steam. I don't think it is.
Back then, it wasn't.
No. But I almost returned it, and how different things would be.
Yeah.
Had that been the case.
You wouldn't have traveled to Europe.
Well, I probably would have done that. I just wouldn't have met Wesp.
Wouldn't have been as fun of a trip, I guess.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as fulfilling. So, yeah, good times. Bloodlines is an experience as much as it is.
And Mori, you really need to do that. Finish your playthrough.
Yeah, Jesus, if we haven't sold you on this game by now,
I'll look into playing it again soon.
Play Bloodlines, and you may win a trip through Europe.
It'll be fun when you start actually playing it again, and we'll do updates. How far did you get this week? And then you're like, well, how far did you get? I'm like, oh, I finished 3 mods. Just like, you bitch. Like, why did you do this?
So Moria, like, so you're playing a Toreador in the paper in Bloodlines. What's your main? What are you playing?
I think I started a Toreador there too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mistaken.
Yeah,
I just really like the plan.
Yeah,
you Anne Rice bitch, you.
I love it.
They are the Anne Rice vampires.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
They're the Twilight True Blood Anne Rice vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually, like, when I'm getting somebody into the game, I'll recommend, like, you want to learn about humanity, play a Toreador. If you just want to experience the game, Bruja Gangrel.
Yeah.
You want to have fun blood magic, Tremere. If you want to torment yourself your first playthrough with stealth and not knowing how fickle the masquerade breaks are with a Nosferatu, play a Nosferatu.
Yeah.
You want play a Ventru if you don't like feeding on anything. So you got
I love Venture, dude. Venture's fine. They blood's never a problem. And you got that sweet dominate, and you got your super cool, like super tight black shirt at the beginning of the game.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, shit, I couldn't even I know myself. I couldn't say like, oh, this is my go-to clan, because to me, there's no such thing anymore.
Right. You're just a delver in all things.
I'm just like, what do I feel like this week, or this playthrough? What do I feel like? Chat, which one do you want to see me do?
Yeah, that's reliable right there. That's like,
unless it becomes auto spend Malk, then
so. Like when I do those challenge runs, like it's usually me being the idiot going like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." So
let's see what happens.
You should get a Wheel of Pain. That should be your shtick. So like I see this great like setup that you have, podcasting and doing these videos. You got the green background. What you need sitting behind you is the Wheel of Pain, and you spin the Wheel of Pain, and it gives you some like horrible thing that you would roll.
Yeah.
And that can be your basis for picking clans or whatever.
I've done something similar, but instead of having a wheel, I had chat do it for me.
Yeah.
I was playing, I'm like, all right, I'll play a Malkavian. You guys, I haven't played a Malkavian in like 2 years. So I'll play a Malkavian. The last time I did it was an auto spend run. This time, I'm going to do a community challenge. And I'm like, oh, well, what's the community challenge? I'm like, you guys decide where all my points go.
I think I heard about this. I think I saw
computers, the wave of the future.
Yeah.
So before I even get to Jeanette, I already have like 4 points in fucking computers. And it's like,
yeah. Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect.
You're good to go.
Yeah, they're like, but it's the wave of the future. And I'm like, all right, so computers is maxed out now. Where are we putting our points? How about wits? Doesn't that raise your hacking too? And I'm like, son of a bitch. You're going to need money, so here's finance. And I'm like, God damn, this is worse than an auto spend.
They're like just ruining your life, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but you had so many bullets. You had so many bullets.
Yeah.
Because of all that money that you had.
I was like, all right.
Oh, God. The balance issues in that game are so bad. Oh.
Yeah.
I did, like I laud like Camarilla Edition, who like those kinds of mods that try to address that shit.
Yeah.
They make inspection and finance and all that, those kinds of garbage skills like more useful.
Yeah.
I've only played them a couple times, so I don't really remember how well they actually pan out in terms of like balancing it or not. But
early game with Final Nights 1.4 and I think 1.5. Finance is useful because it determines your starting amount of money.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
If you don't have any points in your finance, you start off with $25, and you're just like, well, that's interesting.
That's just like real life, basically.
And then with like investigate, as you level that up, you'll find items kind of just strewn around, like
Right.
which I thought was nice. Like what is it? If you have a high inspection, that one useless apartment in the your first haven, there's a Desert Eagle sitting there right next to the computer if your inspection's high enough, and it's like, all right,
Nice.
but you need like an 8.
Yeah,
like,
that's no, but that's cool though. Like I remember that.
yeah, I always felt that
From
apartment was a fucking waste. I'm like, why is
it
this
is.
here?
Well, there's extra apartments.
Yeah.
The inspection thing I think is one of the things I nixed from Camarilla Edition, CE Lite.
Yeah.
Just because it was a pain in the ass to integrate all those changes into Client Quest mod.
And I can understand that. I can completely understand that.
But it is a cool feature. It does make inspection useful. So.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's like, well, what's the point? Oh, you get a little glow on stuff that's going to be able to be picked up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I would have found that anyway because I know where everything is because I played this game 800 times.
Yeah, basically. But then if you don't have the inspection, the items don't even show up, and you're just like, "Where's the key to Muddy's apartment? Why is it not here?"
Yeah, no, that's legit. That's straight legit. So.
Or the key to oh shit, I forgot her name. During the Plague Bearer quest, the 6th floor. There's the key behind the vase for her safe.
Oh, fuck, Hannah.
Hannah, there we go.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think I mentioned this in the Let's Play videos, which I don't expect you guys have watched the whole thing, but like, interestingly, Hannah's a prostitute, and the only prostitute that I know in real life.
What happened? You cut out there for a second.
So the only prostitute that I actually know in real life, her name is also incidentally Hannah. So it's just one of those moments of Bloodlines injecting itself back into reality.
Yep. Yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's amazing how much a silly vampire game has been so impactful on so many people.
Yeah.
How a small but dedicated community has kept the game alive for as long as it has. Because Troika went out of business like almost immediately after launch. So
yeah. It's really a testament just to how great the game is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Kept it breathing for so long because there's other games of that era that I'm sure there's still like dedicated fan bases to, but like obviously I'm biased, but I just feel like Bloodlines is the one that's like still really out there that people are still like really invested in. Like Deus Ex, the original Deus Ex, that came out like I think a couple years before.
Came out in 2000.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's still people that are working on that and dedicated to that, but Bloodlines still really ticking, at least as far as I know, and I'm kind of helping with that, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, between just even the World of Darkness video games to begin with. I mean, of course you can go to Planet Vampire and pick up all the different mods and stuff and get the online mode working for Redemption, which, I mean, that was a pretty big deal back then.
Right.
It's like, oh, you can create your own chronicles and have somebody lay out their dungeon and all the other stuff. That's really cool.
Right.
But then, of course, Bloodlines and the community that's been built around that, it's amazing. You guys, the mod creators, don't get enough credit. That's, first and foremost. Because a lot of people start making a mod, and then they'll just drop off.
Yeah.
Because they'll start sharing stuff, and people are like, well, that's not the way I see it. Like you mentioned, like, different mod creators like, well, I see it this way, I see it that way. But then when you deal with the community is another fickle beast. Where they're just like,
oh yeah,
why are you doing that? Why is this a thing? And you're like, this is my vision for this. First off, if you want to play it, fucking play it. If you don't, then don't. It's not gonna not gonna impact the way you play the game if you don't download the mod. But
man, I'll tell you what. Like, I know I can be a bit socially reclusive in the sense that I don't necessarily engage with the community as much as I could, but like that is truthfully like a big part of it. And it's not that I blame people for having opinions or wanting to have some say in the mod, but just from the perspective of the person that's like actually doing a lot of the work for mental health reasons, it's just really beneficial to kind of like disengage from that, because
absolutely,
even if people are presenting feedback in the most like laid back way that you can possibly imagine, it can still just be really draining to just like try to take in a lot of different people's feedback and try to take that on board. And, at the end of the day, you just kind of have to do what makes sense to you and be true to your vision. And hopefully that's good enough for people. And maybe you course correct later on. Like Client Quest 4, like I just almost worked entirely in a shell, and that can be very dangerous because without a lot of external feedback, you can just make something that's horrible. I'd like to think I didn't make something that's horrible. I think most people think it's like pretty good.
No, it is.
There's certainly course corrections that I see that I could have made or I should have made, and I'll try to make in the next like patch or whatever. But to try and like get that level of feedback during the process it can just be absolutely like draining.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah. So just that's my 2 cents on that, and just kind of trying to protect myself from the many bits of feedback and input that people have about these things. So,
and I mean that's one of those things though, like the community is as guilty of it, of trying to force their ideas a lot of times, because I've seen it a few times with a couple mods that never made it, where it's just like, oh, this looks really cool, why don't you do this? And they're just like, why are you telling me how to do? You mod the game? No, you don't. So don't tell me that to do something that I know I can't do. Like,
right. It's like, why don't you do it? She's so smart.
Yeah, it's just I mean, that's just the way it is. So like, seriously, no matter what community you're in, whether it's the Bloodlines community, the Redemption community, the Deus Ex community,
right,
any of the other modding communities, like give the mod creators like time to do their thing, like, and don't be so shitty about it.
Like, I'll say this though, what is nice is when people can give constructive feedback well.
Yeah.
Because I admit, like, I know I didn't do the thing perfectly, like obviously not, like no one's perfect.
Yeah.
And so when you're able to get feedback from people that is well articulated and presented in a way that isn't just like, like drains my soul to read it, like that's helpful, like that's good. Like, try to work on your communication skills if you're going to have an opinion about everything.
It's the truth. No matter what field or whatnot you're dealing with, you got to be able to articulate your point and not come off cross like an asshole. So
right, but it goes the other way too. Like, you have to be able to take feedback. Like, a lot of or anyone really are just very sensitive about feedback. Like, who among us hasn't gotten to an argument with a friend or a loved one when they have something to say about our lives, right? And it's always coming from a constructive place of love, but we're not always receiving it well, and that's only too true in the modding community.
Yeah. No, I don't know why you're wasting your life doing this. You should be doing this instead. And you're like,
thanks, Mom.
So supportive.
I've discussed this multiple times with you, Grandma, but just because you think that computers are the way of the future doesn't mean, which is a legitimate argument I've had.
Oh God.
Does not mean that I want to go to college to take a course that I'm going to have to take a bunch of other bullshit courses for.
Right. Spend all your money, all of it,
to learn how to do something that I have probably a 3% chance of getting a job in.
Right, exactly. Oh God, my grandpa sent me an email recently about AI, and
Oh.
he's so sweet. He's like 96 years old, and he's like
Mhm.
AI. I read some article in the newspaper about how AI is in the future, and like just
Mhm.
trying to nudge me towards thinking about that. I'm like, thanks, grandpa.
Yeah.
Google's got an API for that now.
Yeah, I always get the every time, well, not all the time, but like whenever there's like a family gathering or whatever, it's always just like, you really you're pretty decent with computers. Like you're pretty good with computers, and I'm like, I'm decent with computers. No, no, no. I think you're really good with them, and you could do a lot better if you went to school for it. I'm like, I'm. I mean, I went to college for television and radio production, so. And I didn't finish that because I realized how much bullshit that was. So,
Right.
what makes you think I'm going to want to do something that I have really no interest in? So,
You know what? I will say every one of us is so guilty of selling ourselves short.
yeah.
Like I think like from working professionally as a software engineer for so many years, most people are full of shit is what I've and most of what people talking themselves up is bullshit. So it's like you cannot be an expert on a topic and still get paid the big bucks to do that thing. And that is
Yep.
true like 90% of the time. Like so like people sell themselves short on everything and
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have to go to college, Todd. You could go be a computer man today.
I'll take some course, like I'll download like Unity and start messing around with that, or learn how to write JavaScript or some shit.
Jesus Christ, that's seriously, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, why pay to do something you could do right now for free? So.
And honestly, here's the truth. After a month of learning JavaScript from Unity, you would probably know as much as someone who went to a college degree to learn that shit. And you could go get a job. Like, seriously, it's pathetic.
I mean, going to school for television and radio, like, was ridiculously stupid. It really was. Oh, yeah. Like, one day a week was actual, like, practical learning. Nothing was, like, hands-on. And then the other day was, like, analyzing, like, news reports and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with the degree I'm going for? And they're like, well, it's good for you to know what's going on in the field. And well, okay, so let's have some real talk here. How much experience you have in this in the field? Well, I've been a professor here for 3 years. No. That's not what I asked you. How much experience you have in the field?
Right. And they're like, well, I took an internship 7 years ago.
Yeah, they're like, I'm a professor teaching this course, and I'm like, at this point, I already have 4 years in the field experience.
Right.
Working on location, filming shit, and making sure audio's good and all the other stuff. And you're telling me I have to sit here and analyze the fucking news?
Right.
And I'm paying, I think it was like something like $8 or $9 grand for the class.
I'm like, yeah.
Oh, boy. No.
Out the fucking nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit at home and critique their shitty work,
Right. You could watch
free.
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like college is a bit of a racket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I shouldn't say that out loud. But
you're not wrong.
College is a fucking racket.
Yeah.
I'm taking the blame for that one.
Okay. Todd said it first. College is a fucking racket. I will say this because I went to college. I got a degree. I will say this is actually the classes that were related to computer science were among my favorites. I actually did do some cool, interesting stuff. I took this class in Eastern literature.
Mm-hmm.
I had this like sexy, cool, young Asian like teacher, and she like actually gave us some really interesting books to read and educated us on this topic. It was awesome. I did another class. It was film as literature. And so it was this teacher who would like, have us watch some movies and then analyze them, and compare them to like the book versions in some cases. It was so much fun, and I really did kind of learn about how to like look at a movie and kind of analyze. Like you can learn interesting stuff, but like both of those classes I took at community college. Like you don't have to go to a fucking state college 4-year degree program, pay out the fucking ears for it.
Nope.
Like that is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It really is.
Even just physics, man. Physics too, learning about electromagnetism.
Yes.
Insane.
It's outrageous though. It really is. Like, you know, if you're going to go the college route, I don't know how we ended up getting on the college route thing, but whatever.
How did we end up here? I don't know. Here we are.
Where are we?
Yeah.
Let me tell you my life story.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go that route, like, go to a community school and kind of
definitely go to community
figure out what you're
college.
doing. Like, don't get me wrong, my television radio course was in a community college, and it was still that fucking pricey. But
It wasn't insane. I feel like community college is where it's at.
yeah,
A lot of communities, a lot of
Yeah.
cities have good community colleges. Mori, what's your background? Did you go CC?
I went to community college route, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you study?
Medical records mainly. Health
Interesting.
information management.
And here you are on a podcast talking
Here
about
I am
vampires
on a podcast talking about vampires.
and our shitty lives.
Well, this is what gets me away from my shitty office job, and I think this is why I like love it so much. Is I get to just crack jokes and bullshit and like laugh my ass off
Yep.
at
Right.
least like one time a week with like somebody I really enjoy spending my time with.
Aw.
Oh.
Aw. That's nice. That's real nice. Are you blushing?
A little.
She spent a blood point.
Fuck! I had to use blush of life. God damn it. But no, I mean it's you know, you talked about everybody sells themselves short. I mean, I do it all the time. Like, and it's not even like on the job stuff. Like, just in general, in life, I sell myself short. So hearing something like that is just like, to me, like really heartfelt, and I'm like, oh my god, that is probably one of the nicest things I've ever heard. And
that people sell themselves short and
oh no, it's just like I really enjoy hanging out with you, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the thing. I mean, hell, that's how basically all the podcasts started. It was just we just hang out, we'd bullshit, and I'm like, hey, let's record this, and
something good comes out of it.
yeah, I mean, this is one of the highlights of my week usually.
Usually.
Well, I mean, there's other highlights of the week as well, where it's like,
I
oh
know.
hey, let's not podcast this week and just watch shit on fucking Amazon, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty fun too. We'll watch horrible
Last couple of
movies.
weeks. Exactly.
Oh, are you guys fans of like just like B movies?
I
We've
am.
really gotten like, well, he is. I don't think we've really gotten terribly much into B movie territory. At least ones that weren't riff track movies.
Well, I mean,
so-
we watched like half a Troll too.
Oh, nice.
before Amazon stopped us because it knew better. It's like I can't subject you to this.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna make the video like die.
But we did get to the classic. Oh my god! Which
and then it just like went.
yeah. Then Amazon's just
Well-
like, yeah, no, you're done.
They're like, well, we know you're all watching it, just so we'll just cut it off.
Yep. Either that or we'll watch like cooking shit, which is also
Mhm.
fun.
Yes.
Oh, cooking shit.
Yeah.
What cooking shit do you watch?
God,
What
we've
is
been
it?
watching Nailed It.
Nailed It on Netflix, which is
And
basically
what is
Cake
it?
Rex the series. It's terrific.
And then let's see. We also started watching Cooking on High.
Yeah, which is a
What's
half
this?
hour cooking competition, which is only 15 minutes long, where people cook with weed.
Oh, okay.
For a
While they're
panel of-
high.
No. The judges are high. And
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just- it's-
Sometimes they pregame, so they're just
Yeah.
like ready to go.
they take a little break at one point. It's just like, yeah, let the THC kind of do its job. We'll get back to you. And they're like, I am high as fuck. I don't even know what I ate. That shit was delicious. I never ate fish before. This is the best damn fish I ever ate. It's like,
There's so much good stuff out there that I don't even know about.
hmm
I don't, my wife and I got really into watching Australian network TV,
Nice.
but in America, so it's like kind of novel. But they have like the same reality show bullshit that we have, but it's in Australian. And so somehow that just intrinsically adds this like extra element of fun in the sense that everyone has an accent. And it's talking about like foods that you never heard of. So just like watching this cooking show in like from Australian network TV, it's like the most basic shit. Like I've asked Australians about it and they're like, you watch that shit? My fucking nan watches that show. I'm like, oh, you said nan. I know what that means. I watched her show.
We were also watching British Bake Off.
Yeah, we kind of tried watching the British Bake Off, and I think Netflix or
the last time we tried watching it, it was just like nah, not tonight. And I'm like, all right, cool, we'll watch something else, and we watched like an entire season of Nailed It.
Which was, right. And what's the shtick with Nailed It?
So it's 2 rounds. The first round, like they have 3 bakers who
very loose term.
Yeah, who have to recreate
stuff. My god, it's like the meme.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a meme about this, right?
Yep. It's exactly that.
Yep.
So it's like,
oh my god, some of the stuff they come up with is
terrific. It is beautiful.
So it'll be like there'll be a cake that's like an accurate representation of like all the entire cast of Overwatch, and someone will like nailed it.
Yeah,
but it'll be like 7 gingerbread men like stapled to a piece of cardboard.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
There was one where they, in the first round, they were doing a donut challenge, and each person had a different donut to recreate.
It was some kind of pirate themed donut.
Yeah, there were pirate themed donuts, and one of them was pirate with an eye patch, a little hook hand, and a hat, and it just became a blob of like fondant and jelly and shit. It was
it was just like a smear on fried dough, and
it was terrific.
That was what they managed to make in like.
That's accurate though. That's legit. You ever try to bake, do anything with fondant? You know that's how it's going to end. Fuck, man.
It was beautiful though. It really was. And I've gotten so many people into watching that show where it's just like, did you see this episode? I'm like, I've watched the entire series 3 times.
I think you just converted like me personally and my wife by extension. So I mean, there's that.
You gotta check this out.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
They actually have a holiday season coming up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, was it the 7th?
So
a day or 2 from now, we'll do Nailed It Holidays.
Well, I know what we're watching on Friday. Wait, no, I have game on Friday. Fuck.
Yup. I know what I'll be watching on Friday.
There you have it.
No, I'm joking. I'll probably be playing Bloodlines.
Clan Quest mod.
Yeah, I'll rush through the basic stuff, do all the added stuff, and take my time with it, like I did with the. Which I mean, that was the thing. Like I've played the base game so many times, and it's just like, okay, well, I can nail these quests out, get that done. Let me get to what I'm here for, which is Kellyanne, Steve, which I didn't do in the last playthrough. Because I bypassed the Warrens, so for the most part. And then, East LA. So
yeah. There you have it. Like eventually I want it to be like just it's like part of that natural experience of playing Bloodlines as the rest of the vanilla game. But that's the dream.
It felt very organic. It really did. I did really enjoy the and I know you mentioned in the comments on the video that you ran into that bug with the when they're doing the Valkyrie.
Oh god, it kills me.
Yeah,
it kills me every time because it looks so good when it right and so bad when it doesn't.
One of them standing on something.
Oh god.
But I mean, at the same time, it's such a powerful moment because like that's not something I expected. Diablerie. Diablerie
Right.
was another whole system where I didn't really explore that. I was like, I messed around with what I had to, but I didn't go
Yeah.
back through and be like, oh, let me try to go and get Vivi. Let me try to get, Jeanette or, this one or that one.
Right. Some people are like Pokemon. They got to collect them all.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be tempted to catch them all, but
You fuck up your humanity. Now that I have, you can't just buy back your humanity.
yeah, which I like.
Yeah, that's how I meant for it to be in the first place. Except I found out there's additional histories and clan backgrounds that affect the cost of humanity, and it tweaks that so that it doesn't, like, if you're I think if you're Toreador, you can still buy humanity even with the patch. So I still fucked up.
I mean, it's one of those things that's like, but at the same time, those histories were added in with the UP plus. So
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, whatever. But yeah, go back and Diablerize everyone. That's really the key.
eat all the peoples. Don't let Arturo get his blood frenzy going with needing to eat everybody. Oh, I ate this chick over at this club, and you're like, yeah, no, I already had her, so go fuck off.
Yeah, well, just don't do it alone. You don't let him do it alone. You can be the guy that's out there frenzying nonstop. So
nice. I mean, for what it's worth, he was. I mean, you mentioned it before. Writing all the stuff for Arturo. And I mean, for what it's worth, it was very well done. It really was.
Thank you.
Very well written. Honestly, it felt like a character that should have been in the game.
Right.
And I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like you want to try to do. Like all those characters felt like they belonged.
That's exactly what I was going for. I was trying to get these characters to just fit naturally into the world of Bloodlines, and because we all, like, I'm looking at this GIF still of
LaCroix being
LaCroix. I'm like, look at all these like iconic characters, like disembodied heads in this GIF, but like I recognize these characters, identify with them, and that is exactly what I was trying to do with all this whole new cast that was added in Clan Quest Mod 4. And I would like to think that I succeeded. So from a lot of the rave reviews like your own, it sounds like I did okay. Okay.
One thing that that caught me completely off guard was all of a sudden the level transition from where I was to LaCroix's, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how did this? Why is what?
I was like, I fast forward to that part in your video, and I got exactly the reaction I was hoping. Wesp actually was one of the playtesters, and his thought on that was that it was too sudden. There wasn't enough foreshadowing. I think that's true. There could have been more foreshadowing. And he said the transition was too sudden, and he said it should be more like the player walks up to the cabbie to go to Chinatown, and instead it takes control of the character, and they sort of like automatically walk to the tower, and then you do the transition. But I feel like that's not necessarily the most elegant solution either. And I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
Just because I can see people like you have the reactions that you had.
Yeah, because that completely took me by surprise, and I was just like, "What's going on? Like, why am I here?" And that was the perfect thing. And then it's just like, you've been basically a sleeper agent for me this entire time, and I'm like, what? No.
He's like, bro, I'm Ventru. Does that not mean anything to you at this point?
Fuck. Now fall out window.
If anything, I would have just like done more foreshadowing. Thing that would have indicated that this was coming.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would change about that in retrospect.
I mean, you could, but if you do the foreshadowing, like, I could see you doing the foreshadowing and doing it like very subtly, so it still is a surprise, but not having it there, and it's just like, boom, you're in his office, and you're like, what? Like, it just, it's, I felt it was great. I felt it completely took me by surprise. I'm almost speechless now talking about it because I'm just like having flashbacks of like, why am I here? Why is the sheriff looking at me? And I'm Sabat. I shouldn't be here. Like,
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it because, like I said, it's retrospect. Like
Yeah.
I question, I'm like, oh, was this the right decision? But like in the design notes originally, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so badass. Like the reaction that you had was exactly
what you were
was
aiming
the
for.
intention. So I'm glad it was appreciated.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of these things not everyone would take it on board. So
Well, and I mean, the thing is, when it gets pitched, like if somebody were to pitch that, it'd be like, that's a weird fucking idea. And then when you see it actually, laid out, you're like, well, wait a second, like that. I mean, I felt it worked. So, I mean, there's going to be people that say like, well, it should have had a little bit more lead in or whatnot. But, and then you go out the window and you're like, oh shit.
See, I feel like from the pen and paper perspective, it's not that weird because
No,
if
it
you
isn't.
play the pen and paper, Dominic tricking people into thinking things that they shouldn't think and forgetting things that they wouldn't otherwise forget. And then presence actually has like the fourth dot. I think it just draws someone to you wherever they are in the world, they are going to come to where you're at.
Yep.
That's pretty much what LaCroix has done. He's maxed out his social disciplines and he used them all against you.
Because he's Ventru.
Because he's a fucking Ventru. Of course that's what he's going to do. And the throwing you out the window thing, like, that was a missed opportunity because what I would have liked to have done was for there to be some kind of altercation with the sheriff. And it's more of a violent toss rather than it's like you don't even see yourself get pushed out the window.
Yeah.
It's because you can't do the animations in Bloodlines. Like the engine just won't allow you to make new animations.
You work
so that
with what
being
you
the
had.
case, you got to work with what you have. So, it's like a very slow march to the window rather than a violent, fight. So
yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I can also argue the fact that you're still under his influence. So
that's what I said. That's what I said to the naysayers. I say, sir, you are under the influence of the prince, and you got to take your knocks.
He wants you to go to that window, and he wants you to throw yourself out of it while his sheriff watches. Watches on, going like, "Well, I'm not fucking with the prince."
Oh, I always assume the sheriff pushes you out the window. He picks you up and throws you.
I'm assuming that the sheriff just kind of is there to make sure that you go through with it.
Yeah, you can have it any way you like it. You can take it any way you like. So
it's open for interpretation.
It's an open for interpretation. That is correct. And then it's such a what it is. It's such a James Bond supervillain thing. Like if anything, the sheriff would just like slice your face off with his sword.
Yeah.
But in classic style of supervillains and James Bond storytelling, like he's gonna kill you in the most avoidable way possible, push you out a window. But it's a cliche, but it's one that people know and are comfortable with. So,
but the end justify that means, because at that point you're just like, well, fuck this guy. I really want to get back at him. And if you get a specific ending, you get that satisfaction. So
exactly, and I feel like it enables a better story.
Yeah,
and if it does that, then great. You know what? It's maybe not the most logical thing, but you just kind of run with it.
Yeah, but nothing better than letting somebody catch their first sunrise in how long,
Right.
Because I'm just as soon as I saw him up there, I'm like, yes, yes, this is what you get, you fuck. Oh,
it's pretty fun. It's pretty satisfying. So
absolutely. But we've been going for 3 hours. You should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, speaking of sunrises,
Yeah.
sun's coming up soon for me. Not really. It's sooner for you. It's like you're in
Eastern, yeah.
So it's like 2 a.m. there?
It's 1:20.
1:20. It's late.
Yeah, it's a bit late. I still got show notes and stuff like that to write, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, we should wrap it up. So,
Yeah.
anything else we should say?
I mean, you guys go to ModDB, check out Clan Quest Mod, download it, play it, have a lot of fun. Leave positive comments on the on it. Vote for it for Mod of the Year. Thank you very, very much for being on. You know, it's
this
been
was
really
awesome.
cool.
Super fun.
Yeah. Mori, do you have anything to add?
I got nothing.
I'm
just ready to fucking go to bed.
Yeah.
I have a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, I get you.
Don't we all? But this was the shortest 3 hours I've had.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you stepped out, I was just like, wow, it doesn't feel like we've been going as long as we have. Like,
yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much once again for joining us. And, you know, hopefully you enjoy your Overwatch and your vacation, your vacation from Bloodlines a little bit. I'm looking forward to what you do, what you come up with next, to be honest. So
awesome. And when that happens, we should do this again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This was awesome. So,
but anyway.
Cool.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to another edition of Gimmick Bag. I'd like to thank once again Burgermeister for joining us, and check out Clan Quest Mod 4.0.1. Make sure you get that patch, because that's a thing.
Important.
Yes,
it's important.
The patch is very important. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you then. Good night.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.